That sounds so
Yeah,
exciting.
cool.
Wonderful. When's
Dusty,
that?
I'm gonna send it to you in email. I mean, in Facebook Messenger, so you can show everybody. And I want you guys to take a look at this this poster for this, and tell me what you see in the background of the poster. Not the not worrying about the upfront stuff with the Scientology logo and all that, but it's what's in the background of it. And this is the actual poster that I was emailed by Windy City Thetan. I think it's very, very interesting. So there it is. All right, I am sending it to you now. There you go. So
all right, I got that. I heard that.
Let's see.
All right, now what do I gotta do to pull that up?
Down at the bottom. Let me see. It might let me do it.
That might let you do it.
I
Will
gotta
it let
present,
you do
right?
it?
Yeah, just present.
Yeah, let me. I can go ahead and pull it up right from mine.
There you go.
All right, there we go. So this should be interesting, and I want you guys to take a look at this poster and tell me what it is you see that's in there.
Did it pop up?
Can't see it.
All right. Oh, it didn't present.
Present.
Okay,
No.
Dusty, you're gonna have to do it from yours then.
I'm like froze up all of a sudden. I made my computer mad.
Blake Reed, it's a pleasure to see you in. So nice to see you.
Blakey.
Indigo
The
twin, it's a pleasure.
Blakey's the pro songwriter
Mhm.
of the
Okay.
group.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. He did the parody song. He won the parody song contest. He did a great
Now,
job.
Dusty, if you hit the Control Plus on your keyboard,
Did
it'll
I get
make
it? Should be there now.
Yeah, go ahead and hit Control Plus. That should make the image get bigger in there.
Control.
Looks like the Disney castle.
Plus. Give me a second.
It does look like the Disney castle.
It's not the Disney castle.
Did that make it bigger?
No, are you actually on that
No.
page? Or are you in StreamYard?
I'm in StreamYard.
Go to the
Click on the
actual Facebook
page.
page and then hit Control Plus there.
Okay. Control Plus. Because I don't want to make my computer mad.
I think you hit minus. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, just hit Control Plus,
I
and
need
you
a
might have to do
mouse.
it a couple of times. Oh, it's not. That's weird. All right. Well,
Okay.
if you look at this image, and no, it's for some reason it's not doing it right. Hit the Control minus like 3 or 4 times so it gets it back to where it was. There we go. Okay, so if you look at this image behind the logo there, the 2 triangles and the S, you'll see the castle there behind it, and then you have that scrolling announcement at the bottom. And if you look to the left of the logo, you see that owl there.
Yes.
That's a Harry Potter thing.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Then Pup Groomer got it. Yeah, Harry Potter vibes. So
Yes.
yeah, that's I thought that was really interesting that they put out the and Pup Groomer. Let's see, was it Pup Groomer? Miss Sunrise Dawn. I'm looking, but I don't have. Oh, there we go. Let's see. I will see what I can do. But the fact is that why are they using Harry Potter in their
That's weird.
advertisement for their new ideal org? Oh,
That is
hap-
odd.
and
Because
if you
it's
got-
an enchanted expansion. It's not just a regular expansion, it's enchanted.
with all the people they got working for them, can they not hire someone to actually come up with something better
Original?
than that?
Original would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. That just gets me. So, but I'm going to step out. I got to make a phone call.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
They say it's urgent. So I will, I got to go check that out and see what's going on. But y'all have a good evening. Thank you for having me on here. And
Good to
Thank
see you,
you
Bo.
for
I
being
haven't
my
seen you
Thanks
in
big
a
for
while.
pal.
stopping by.
all righty. Bye-bye.
You guys
Bye-bye.
have a good night. Let's see if make sure that picture's gone at the stage. That's that. All right.
Okay,
I want to
cool.
remove that now.
Are they
So,
wooing J.K. Rowling?
yeah, could be.
Well, I don't know that they're. I just think it's got Harry Potter feels, Mandy. I guess it's got definite Harry
Yeah.
Potter feels to it, which is weird.
Yeah, that is odd. By the way, I'd like to send my thoughts and prayers to Natalie and Tony.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes.
what's going on there. You know, she needs all of our thoughts and prayers and support. So I'm wanting to do kind of a funny video on my channel or a funny live. But I'm kind of holding off until we find out a little bit more about Tony, because I think our attention should not be on something really funny, but on getting them through this.
I think that, yes, our attention should be on absolutely getting them through this, not all of the distractions that we're
Right,
facing
right.
right now.
Agreed. And there's a lot of them going on. I mean, the craziness happening. But, you know, you have to think about it. If you think about, you know, the division that's happening in the quote unquote wars, you know, civil rights had different divisions, and so did the Vietnam protests. People divided and they didn't agree and they did their own thing, but they all were working for a common goal. And I think that's kind of what's happening here, is that we've grown to the point where now we're going to have divisions and people doing things their own way. You know?
I'm cool with that, so long as we're trying not to attack each other, would be
I
my
agree.
preference.
I agree. I think we need to just stop and realize that, you know, different people can do things differently. It's how they're going to do it. And as long as we all fight the same goal, you know, whether I agree with the way so-and-so is doing their protesting is none of my business. They can do it their way and I'll do it my way, you know?
I agree.
So,
I'm reading the
agree.
comments, just kind of cruising back everything I missed when I was doing that for John.
yeah,
We
they
got
maybe just-
Lorraine. We got Lorraine W in here. Thank you so much. She's been with me since day one. She was one of the main people that got me to start streaming. So big shouts out to you, Lorraine.
Yeah.
We love you very much.
Yeah, well,
Thank you
Cricket
for being here.
said that, you know, when they had the gay activist movement, that they had numerous splits. But you know, it was basically weathering the storm and understanding that there are different ways to do things, you know.
It's the bullying of specifically smaller channels that's worrisome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's really, really worrisome. And we've already had small channels
Disappear.
quit.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Have you guys been keeping tracks of your numbers? I noticed I lost 5 overnight. Was it 5 or 10? I said something about it earlier.
I'd have to look at mine. I haven't looked at mine today.
I usually have a couple drop off every so often. I will lose people because people just start cleaning house.
Well,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Sure.
all of a sudden, there's been a little wave of people jumping off. I think it hurt the whole movement pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't lost any. I mean, I'm only at 108, so I haven't lost anybody. But I don't. What happens to me, I think, as I explained before, is that up until I hit the 100 mark, I wasn't doing lives, and so I'm trying to get into doing lives, and I want to do that. DJ Nico and I are planning some stuff. Dusty, you and I can do some stuff. But you know, I haven't lost any at this point. What happens to me is that I want to do something on something, and because I wasn't doing lives at the time, I did a bunch of research in the background to make sure I wasn't saying something stupid. And by the time I got it all ready to go, the attention had moved on from that subject. So I have like these 5 things that I've already got researched and ready to go. It's just, nobody's talking about it anymore, and there's no use in bringing it back up. Yeah.
We got a new one out there. This is the channel. If there's people trying to get numbers to go live, this is the place.
Yeah.
With my whopping 600 subscribers that I have myself, but there's about 20 or 30 of us that are actually very tight knit group of people. So please, join the party. We're more than welcome to have you, despite everything else going on. We're still a tight-knit family, and we love each other as if everybody is our own family.
Oh, hell no. Will you drop your link in the chat? Or nope, Susan got it.
I was gonna say I dropped it in private chat up there so somebody could grab it and put it up, because if I put it on, it'll just show up on my channel.
It will just show up on your channel. Got it. Got it.
Hey, Chad.
I've lost 7 in the last
Chad, if you
few
can send me an
days.
email, I'll send you a link at dustysodadispenser@gmail.com. What was I going to look? I was going to look at my numbers.
Yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't lost any. But then I haven't been involved in all this. I don't have mods. I will probably be asking people that I know, or that I only mod for one channel.
I lost 5.
You lost 5. I only mod for one channel, so I'm not really involved in the mod gate or whatever you want to call it. In fact, I'm really out of the loop of it. I haven't gotten any, messages or anything like that. So I'm out of the loop. But it's just, mods can control your chat. Mods can make a and
Absolutely, yeah.
When I mod, I'm kind of, if it's a serious subject, you'll see that I'm pretty quiet as a mod in Liz's thing, because I'm concentrating so much on the chat that I actually zone out the actual stream. So I have to go back and watch it on replay to get the stream. But one of the things that I do is I look at, if somebody says something that's questionable, I look at, okay, what is it? What's the context? Because in typing, you can't tell if it is, not meant to be bad, unless it's really blatant. It may be a joke that somebody has put in there in poor taste. But, I kind of try to judge is it in context with what's going on in the chat or what's going on the stream, or is it blatant trolling? And if it's blatant trolling, then I will shut it down. But if it's, if it's context wise and it seems to fit, and it's just kind of maybe somebody didn't type it in a way that was particularly diplomatic, and they didn't mean anything bad by it, but, and since I can't contact them, and like in the Discord, I contact somebody when they do that, and I say, what is it that you were trying to say? And let me see if I can help you say it better so that it doesn't come out like an attack, so that I try to do that. But if it's blatant, man, I'll pop it really fast. It's like whack a troll,
I'm only a mod in a few people's chat, and it's only so I could maybe pop up a link or something like that. I really don't know what I'm doing. Other people are much better mods than I am.
Yeah, I mostly pop up links or pop up like the address to the safe space Discord or that type of stuff, the chat rules, that kind of thing. That's mostly what I do. Mandy is incredible at keeping track of that, as is Summer Summer Savage and Doctor Who Heather, and they really, and Are You Jellin, they really keep track of what's being said. So I'm just kind of trying to pop the links in so they don't have to,
right,
pick them up quickly.
I try.
I've only modded for a couple of channels, and we have not had much troll problems. So, except for Lisa in LA this weekend. That was a bit of a that was a bit of a rude awakening for us all, but she was used to having like 10 people in her chat, and when she hit LA, that changed
Yeah,
quickly.
People pick up if their channel grows immensely, or if they have a chat that gets rated or any of that stuff, and all of a sudden you're dealing with 7 people in the chat, and then all of a sudden you have 1,000. Like if Aaron does a room raid, you're gonna have 1,000 easily in there. It suddenly goes from this is not too bad to holy crap.
Oh, thank you so much,
will you click on Nerman's comment there, because I'm going
What's
to
on that
disagree
one?
with him. The one that says history has no mods. History does
It
has
lots of
mods. They're
mods.
called historians.
Yes.
They're called historians.
Awesome. Thank you, JM Ledger. Yeah. Well, and history is written by the ones who win. It's like
Exactly.
It's like I look at when you're talking about
Lorraine, thank you.
coincidences.
Thank you guys so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. When you're talking about coincidence, my belief is coincidence is the product of good planning by the one who benefits most.
You're growing.
Exactly.
You're growing.
I am. Thank you.
Be sure to smash that
it's
like
good to
button,
see
please.
you.
Subscribe
Yes.
to each other's channels. Everybody hit that like button.
Hey there, E.
Sorry, Nerman.
Hi,
My
E.
deepest apologies.
Just make sure I'm keeping up here.
It was a bit challenging for the mods, Cricket.
Yeah,
it was a bit challenging for the mods.
And I'm dyslexic so bad too. It takes me. I got to sit there and either diligently look at this, or I look at you guys. And we were talking about it the last time. When you're on a streamer's channel and you're throwing out comment after comment after comment, and there's only 14 of you in there, and the person never reads your comment, it bugs me. And then next I'm either, when we had Cheryl on the other night, I was more interested in the shooting the shit.
Hey, Mischief Managed. Good to see you.
Hi, Mischief Managed.
And degraded daughter. Good old E. Hello. I love E. She is so sweet.
Alicia's a lovely, very nice.
Oh, she is amazing and so sweet.
And Mischief, howdy. Indigo should go for it. Find a smaller creator, a creator that you love, and offer. You can learn as you go, and there are lots of mods who can help you.
If you go go ahead, Carrie.
The most important rule for a mod is get your rules from the creator.
Yes.
And the most important rule for a creator is know that your mods can make or break your channel, and that you are responsible for what they're doing. That you can't say, "Oh, my mod did it." You're ultimately responsible.
Yes.
I mean, it's your channel.
Yes, exactly. It's your channel. It's your content. The mods can do a lot, but the mods should be following what you tell them is what you're wanting to do.
I've actually had one troll, and it was months ago. And it was when I was first going live, and I wind up wiping out Lorraine W. of all people. Trying to do my own modding on my phone, running around, trying to learn StreamYard.
It's hard. It's hard doing money. Yeah, I did most of my lives. I did on Sinfully Good, my cooking channel. So I didn't tend to have a whole lot of mods or a whole lot of trolls, because I wasn't doing anything but going over cooking stuff. So, why would you, troll a cooking channel?
My wife's actually quite the good cook. I should start picking your brain on stuff to make.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mandy, I agree that sometimes people don't know what they need for their channel, and that's why it's useful. If you want a mod, find a mod that you appreciate and you like, and learn from them. Ask them to teach you. It's easy enough to have people on a stream and teach them how to do mod stuff. That's not a hard thing to do. You just do it like we're doing and show people what they can do and not do.
And then if you get on a channel that's smaller and you become a mod, and even if you do it from time to time, if you're always respectful to that creator and that channel and always being helpful to them, they'll keep you as a mod. And as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, your name stays blue. And like Jacob Harkey, I use for an example, he needed a mod. All of a sudden, he had no mods, and he all of a sudden out in LA, he got a troll, and all of a sudden he was asking if anybody would be a mod, and I sent him an email, and Lorraine did too at that time. We were like his first 2 mods, and today his channel is now quite a bit larger. I don't think I would be a mod anymore because, you know, I'm not as useful as other people could be to a channel that's becoming larger and larger, like Jacob Harkey.
Yeah, it does, Indigo. I agree with you on that. I use real butter, and I use unsalted because here's the trick with salt and butter. You can always add salt, but you can't take it out. So, you know, that's why I use unsalted. By the way, in the private chat area, I put the URL for the Sinfully Good for the cooking channel.
Oh, for the cooking channel. Wonderful.
Yeah. I didn't get it.
It's in private chat.
Yeah, you did. It's in the private chat.
Now I fucked it up.
What'd you do?
That's what I do. I'm in the private one. I got one from Fluffy, Fuzzy, Susan, and Pop.
No, look at
the
top of StreamYard where it says comments, and you've also got a place where it says chat.
Private chat, yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Click on that notebook tab for chat.
No, I see that.
Did I disappear?
Oh, I see starred.
I probably did disappear for a minute. I went to subscribe to Sinfully Good,
awesome.
Y'all.
Awesome.
That's where I went.
Chat.
If you look right under the top where you see your
I know what you're talking about. Somehow I must have messed that up because I got live and starred.
Yeah, right above that should be comments in private chat.
Yeah, that's the comments one.
And then next to that it should be private chat.
Yeah. Come on.
Don't feel bad, Dusty. I walked Nico through this, and I still have things to do with him too. So
it's hard to
learn.
Right in fucking front of my goddamn face. Son of a bitch.
Norman, I think that's a question beyond our capabilities for this evening.
Yeah, I don't have any thoughts on that, to be quite honest.
I think that's a question beyond our ken for the evening.
Where were we at here?
Way outside.
Welcome, Selfless. Is it his? Did I miss that? Doing all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Selfless Self is here indeed.
Self,
hey,
hello.
Selfless Self.
Still love you, brother. I do. That's my drumming brother there.
He ought to come on and join us.
I don't know how to send a link, but I'm more than welcome. We could talk drums all day long, him and I'm sure we could. In concerts.
Mandy, I don't know which. What are you asking?
Whose chat is which in, sweetie?
Is what in?
We're in my chat, I think, overall. Let's see. Twins, hell no. Good to know about Salt.
Yeah, Salt.
How far? Sandy, Lee, Susan, P, Lorraine, W. Hello.
There is a trick, though. If you put too much salt in, like your soup or something, add a potato to it and just let it sit there because the potato will soak in salt.
Whose chat is Selfless in? I am not sure. I believe it is
probably
Dusty.
In mine. I can't really tell who's split on all that kind of stuff.
Well, I can go back.
I can tell.
Selfless looks like it's in yours because I'm on your channel, Dusty. So, yeah, Selfless.
We were speaking of food. Every time I cook something, we used to have a flea market that wasn't far from here, and one of the things when I cook something, it's a I asked my wife, is that flea market quality? Is that good enough to sell at the flea market? If it's good enough to sell at the flea market. So I make a pretty mean shrimp and crawfish etouffee. I love it.
You etouffee? A
Yes.
toffee?
Yeah.
Etouffee.
Etouffee is amazing. I love that stuff. I actually, what happens in my house is, and what's about to happen a lot, because I don't know, I got this thing going. I've got the beaties, and
Diabetes
yeah,
as
and
Us old folks said, yes.
Yeah.
selfless. If you can send me an email at dustysodadispenser@gmail, and I can send you a link if you want to get on.
Yeah,
if you're
come
all set up
in,
for it,
selfless.
be
I haven't
more than
talked to you
happy
since
to.
I saw you in Austin. I keep wanting to go back over there. I was going to go Friday, and then something came up. I don't remember what it was, but something came up and I couldn't go. But yeah, I got this crazy air thing that every time I turn around, the damn alarm's going off. You're high, and I'm like going, oh, for Christ's sakes. So I'm fixing to go into a lot of low carb stuff. I'll be doing a lot of stuff for low carb, because carb equals sugar. So you'll start seeing some recipes come out of that. I've got one now that I kept saying, my husband's Italian, and so we do a lot of pasta, and I love pasta. And I kept saying, if they could come up with a low carb pasta that you actually boil like a regular pasta and you can dry and that type of stuff, it's a game changer. Well, they did. And so
did they really?
They did. So I'm going to be working with that. I have, there's a flour mixture that is low carb. That's not wheat flour. It uses bamboo fiber. That's supposed to be really good. So things like biscuits and dumplings and things like that I'm gonna play with them and see if it works. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna do. Yeah,
Very
my A1C.
nice.
Yeah, my A1C is too high. I have a couple of what they call lipomas on my back, and we want to have them taken off. We think that might be part of my nerve pain issue, and so. But I have to get my A1C back down to 7, and I'm not there. So that's what we're working on.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's why you're going to see more low carb stuff coming out. Starting
low
probably
carb
next.
stuff is good.
Yeah. I have some, and I'm working on actually a low carb cookbook right now. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and we'll see what I do.
Made it to the end.
Yeah, what I do is I take, my belief is that if you go on a food plan or a diet, keyword in diet is die, in my opinion. But anyway, but if you sit there and you say you can't have the things that you grew up with and that you love, then you're going to fail, because you're always going to crave those things. So what I do is I take those foods that people love, like pork chops and stews and that type of stuff, and I rework them to a low carb diet, and I run it through. I have a program that I run it through, and I actually get the macros, and I make sure that my carbs are a certain level. So, and those are the low carb things that I put out.
Lovely.
Yeah. So like I can tell you how to make cream gravy without using a flour roux. Mm-hmm. Because the flour is the problem. The butter's fine. Other things in it are fine. But when you add the flour, that's when the carbs shoot up. So what you do instead, this is a little secret, is you take heavy whipping cream, okay, put it in your pan, and then you turn it up so that it really kind of bubbles quite a bit. You add like a little bit of salt, maybe some garlic powder, the pepper, that type of stuff. And you stir it until it thickens. It will thicken to a gravy consistency. And that's a low carb gravy. So you could have that on, whatever, a cream gravy on whatever you want.
Right.
So.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's heavy whipping cream that you don't add sugar to. That's the key. You're not adding sugar to it.
You're not making whipping cream. You're using the
exactly.
cream to make a gravy out of.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
What you're doing is you're boiling off the liquid to leave the milk solids, which create the gravy, which thickens it. The other trick, like if you want something along the lines that you can do a faux macaroni and cheese, you can take and steam some cauliflower and cut it up, and then take your milk and cheese, and then you use Parmesan cheese to thicken, to make the sauce for your quote unquote macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So you're using Parmesan cheese instead of the flour.
Cheese as a thickener instead of the flour.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that keeps your carbs low. So that's kind of the things that I do. Like when we're talking about pork chops, you're taking and let me give fried chicken as an example. Fried chicken is usually based in a flour, egg, dredge. Okay. So instead of using flour, the first dredge is something called oat fiber. Okay. Which is low carb. Then I use the eggs, and I actually add a little Worcestershire sauce and soy sauce to the eggs. So that gives you another flavor. Mm-hmm. And then I use whey protein powder instead of flour in the second one. And I season that with seasoning, salt, and, herbs and that type of stuff.
And then that whey powder gives you
the crust.
Yes, it does.
Yes. But your carbs are low. So here you can have fried chicken, and I fry it in avocado oil instead of vegetable oil. That's the other thing. You've got to pick your fats right. But anyway, use that whey protein powder. It'll be really, really crispy. You have to fry it at a slightly lower temperature because it will fry quickly.
Right.
And then what I do is I do all of that stuff, and then I shove it in the oven to finish.
Yeah, par frying is the way to go, and then oven baking it for the rest of the way. It makes it much easier and less messy.
Yeah, exactly. So dried mushroom flour. I do have something that I created a spice called burger spice that I use. Actually, I use truffle zest in it instead of dried mushroom powder, but you can use a dried mushroom powder instead of the truffle zest in it. So it's a little less expensive that way. So, but yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of, you found my other passion. Yes, you did. I have like three or four major passions. One of them is this movement. The other is horse racing. You get me talking about horse racing, you're in trouble because I won't shut up. And the third is cooking. And then my dogs, my shepherds. So, those are my four big passions. But yes.
So do you prefer cooking or baking or both?
I do a little bit of both. I do more cooking than I do baking. Where I started this all was I was a demo chef at a grocery store. I mean, I had a full kitchen, and I did demo chef. And I absolutely love teaching people to cook. Well, when the Panda came around, do I have a Derby hat? I've got like 3 or 4. I've been to the Derby numerous times. Actually, Indigo, I was at the 1973 Kentucky Derby and the 1973 Belmont, which, if anybody knows what year that was Secretariat's year. So that was the first one I went to. So yeah.
My thing was concerts. I've been to more concerts than most people. I get talking concerts. I cannot stop.
Mischief wants you to go back and bring up diet comment for me. Need some advice? Sure. I'll do the best I can if we can find it.
Let me see.
Sorry, Dusty. This became cooking. Cooking with Dusty.
It says, hell no. There it is right there. Good job.
I'm losing weight. Now my doc is worried about my cholesterol. All sense, which is different diets altogether. Okay, yes. Hang on. Casey, hush. Anyway, I had issues with he doesn't listen to me. He likes to hear himself bark. Mine
does too. No worries.
With my cholesterol, and I argued with my endocrinologist about it. And I told him, I said, give it 6 months, let's see what happens. And he was like, well, it's unsustainable and this and that and the other thing, and I'm worried about your cholesterol. And what I did in studying all this before I started it was there was a study that said that your cholesterol will go way up and then it will fall. And in about 6 months, it drops. And the thing about it is that what doctors look at is total cholesterol. They don't look at which cholesterol has risen. And what's happening is if you're using things like avocado oil, you're using olive oil, you're using the good coconut oil, the good quality fats, your good cholesterol will go up and your bad cholesterol will go down, but the total numbers will go up. And a lot of the doctors don't look at and divide it into which cholesterol actually went up. They just look at that total cholesterol number. So if you're having trouble with your cholesterol in that, double check and make sure that you're not using things like canola oil, vegetable oil, the oils that are highly processed. You want natural oils like coconut, avocado, olive. I go through a gallon of olive oil in about 2 months because I use it a lot. The key with olive oil is it has a very low
smoking point. Exactly.
And so if you're doing something like frying or deep frying, you want to use avocado or grapeseed oil because both of those have a high smoke point. So, I hope that helped you.
I do full fat and full oil, and we cook with frickin' lard.
We cook with butter and lard. Yeah, lard is excellent.
I do a lot of butter
for frying things.
Like
I do
wings.
a lot of butter.
I like a lot of shrimp.
Yeah, I do a lot of butter. I don't tend to use lard, although I will, like if I'm doing refried beans. But what I'm talking about is okay, good. Lard is a animal fat, and sometimes if you're talking about an animal fat like that, it will raise your cholesterol levels because it's just like eating a ribeye, with a lot of fat in the meat. Those will raise your cholesterol levels because of the fact that they're red meat. So lard, be careful with it. You can use it occasionally, and again, like I said, I don't do keto. As a diabetic, keto, the whole idea is to get into what they call ketosis, which is where your body, and that's the other thing your doctor has to understand, is that when you go do ketosis, you're training your body to use your fats, the stored fats in your body, instead of the carbohydrates and sugars. So you have to realize as you're starting to burn those stored fats, they're stored cholesterol as well. So your cholesterol levels will bounce because they're using the fats that you stored in your body, if that makes sense. So that's probably why you're seeing it. And that's why once you get into ketosis and you get your weight down and you're using the stored fats in your body, your cholesterol levels will go down because of the fact that you no longer are needing to use that extra stored fat. You're actually using fats that you put within your diet. And when you get down to weight where you're at the weight you want. So
indeed, we are glad. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was just reading Janelle's 6 stents this spring, and the doctors were not negotiating about cholesterol.
Yeah. That's definitely something. Yeah. Oh yeah. You always contact your doctors first. Keto's not great for diabetes. And the reason is because it really does bump your cholesterol. Which is why ketosis and ketoacidosis are way too close of words for me. Okay, and you don't want to get into ketoacidosis.
You don't want the second one.
No, you don't. So what I do instead of keto, I don't cut my fat or my carbs so much that I hit ketosis. Okay,
you can reduce your blood sugars without going that far.
Exactly.
Yes.
So keto doesn't allow you to have rice and it doesn't allow you to have breads and that type of stuff, I will have a piece of toast. You know, I will have a little. I mean, everything in moderation. That's the key. You know, everything in moderation. So, you know, if you're talking about rice, yes, it's a high end carb, but if you only have, say, a quarter of a cup instead of a whole big old, you know, we're putting a big old plot of rice on your plate. And the other thing is portion size. You know, if you're talking about a meat, then you have to realize when you're talking about chicken, fish, any of these things, is this portion size is about the size of your palm. That's a portion of steak, a portion of chicken, any of that. It's the size of your palm. So that's what we mean by moderation. Sorry.
I need one of those big fingers, you know, and we're number one. That's my palm. I barbecued Brazilian steak today. I love prosciutto.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we had steak for dinner tonight too. A whole lot of meat, not many carbs.
I had basically Italian sausage hoagies, and basically what that was some Italian sausage, some peppers, some onions, a little bit of garlic and mushrooms, and on a hoagie roll. And for me, I ate most of it without the hoagie roll, but like I had a half of a hoagie roll to go with it, just because that's the little bit of carbs. You know,
and because you can do a little bit of carbs, it's important to do a little carbs. You're just doing it in moderation, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Indigo Twin, I love this idea.
Oh gosh. I think I have, if you go down in Simply Good, I think I have my dogs posted in there, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go look. But yeah.
My puppy isn't as short on my channel.
Maybe I should do a bunch of pictures of my farm on my community tab or something like that.
Yeah. I will tell you at the end of my videos on Sinfully Good, I have all three. I have 3 of the 4 dogs in they're my outro on all my videos in Sinfully Good, if you ever watch that.
Okay.
So, and then we have a new puppy. My son got a new puppy to train for his service animal.
Lorraine's out in the UK, and they have
that's same thing.
I had something called Yorkshire pudding, and it wasn't what I was expecting for pudding.
Aren't
almost like a
Yorkshire
bread
puddings popovers?
Yeah, they're kind of like a popover.
They're like a popover, exactly.
I was like, "Ooh, pudding! Oh, I like pudding." You know.
Yeah,
what the fuck? just kidding. I had a friend years and years ago. I was probably only about 20, 21 years old. And they were English, and they invited me over for dinner, and I never saw a table spread like that before, with the 14 forks and the 12 knives and the spoons, and I had no idea what to do.
Oh, it's really easy, Dusty. You just go from outside in.
Yeah, outside in. And then there's the code that you have for, like, when you're done or you don't like something or something, and there's a way you set your forks on the plate to tell the people that you didn't like it. I'm like, oh my God. That's more than I'm gonna do. I'm not that fancy.
Janelle, that's a little more than I can handle.
Yeah,
I can have mine of that too.
I can't do that either.
My farm is 2 nearly 100-pound golden retrievers. We got 1 kitty left after Cheddar passed. I have about 25 slider turtles, the aquariums, my tenant's dog, his aquariums, a pond, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
How do you keep that all cool in the summertime, man?
What's that? The pond or the?
Yeah, the pond, the yard.
Yeah. Well, I got feeder goldfish that are like this big now.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And they're pretty durable with the water changes, and they do pretty good in the wintertime too. And I'm not worried about the turtles being hot. They lay in the sun. It's the wintertime with the turtles. I got to put a heater in the pond.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They can deal with the heat. Of course they can. They're cold-blooded.
They just
Yeah.
bake in the sun all day long. That's why
Okay.
when I did that yard work today, I freed up a bunch of sunlight for them.
Well, I just hope you don't end up with a gator in your pond.
No, we don't have that too many here. My pond's only about 3 feet by 4 feet, maybe
Okay,
5
a
feet
baby
by
gator.
4 feet.
But they
I would
grow.
expect that in the pool. Being
Oh,
on
yeah.
a peninsula out here, we don't get the gators. We get them in natural water.
Yeah.
But when I go boating, I'm usually not in fresh water. It's not
Oh,
fun to
you're
boat
in
in fresh
salt
water.
water.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what trashed out my boat in the first place.
Yeah.
The
They'll
fresh
do it.
water?
The
Salt
salt
water.
water.
Yeah, you
Oh, the
really have to
salt
clean
water,
the
yeah.
engines out.
We do have a freshwater lake here, but you are not going to catch me jumping into that thing. I'll be feeding time. I see people on jet skis in that little lake, and I'm like, fuck all that. If a gator ain't getting you, a turtle will.
Oh my.
And those snapping turtles are huge.
And they'll take
Are
a
they
toe right off.
really?
Oh, they're huge. Their heads are like this.
Wow.
Yeah, they're huge. We have them in Texas too. So yeah, salt
So
is really abrasive.
So you're in Texas?
Yeah.
Where you at in Texas?
Austin.
Austin. That's
Yeah.
right. All right. We
Yeah.
want to go back out there maybe after. I really would like to go see San Antonio.
San Antonio is beautiful.
My nephew goes to school there in Austin.
Yeah, if you go to San Antonio, the best time to hit the San Antonio in the Riverwalk is at Christmas because it is absolutely gorgeous. They're there year round, but they only turn them on at Christmas time. They have taken from the top of all the trees and draped strings of lights down. And so you're on the river and you have all these trees that are covered in lights draped down like, Spanish moss almost.
Wow.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
That
The
sounds
turtles I have
beautiful.
are yellow belly and red ear sliders. My red ear slider turtles are all rescues. Red ear sliders aren't native to Florida, so once you got them, you got to either keep them.
Mm-hmm.
So those
sort
are
of
my turtles.
Sort of like the boas that are loose in Florida.
Yeah, that's down south. That's in the Everglades down there.
Yeah.
Haven't they killed
python.
people that way though?
What?
What's
Haven't
that?
they found people killed by those pythons?
Yeah, though.
I think mostly pets, but
Oh, okay.
But they may have
it
found
turns out that it was just a really natural inhabitant for them. So when the people started letting their pets go, they thrived.
Yeah,
They
it's a
really
real
did.
problem. It's a real problem. I think wasn't there an exotic breeder or something and that got hit by a hurricane that started all of that? Like Andrew or something like that, or was that just a folk tale?
I don't know on that. That was before I got here.
Yeah. But
Pup groomer would never swim in open water out here. We swim in open salt water here all the time, especially
open salt water.
Yeah.
Because we go scallop fishing, so we got a snorkel for that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really get off the boat unless it's in a beach. Being as what's a good word to use? As honky as I am. This head's red.
Dangerous.
It's a little bit red, so I don't do beaches. So when I take my friends out to the beach on the boat, I usually stay underneath the shade.
Oh, you're like me.
I understand from that. You too? Yeah, we're all burn.
You can't tell anymore, but I'm actually was a redhead as a kid and as a young adult. And yeah, I don't tan, I burn. And if I get burnt, I get sun poisoning, and oh my God, nobody wants to be around me. My best friend who I lost to cancer 3 years ago, she literally, when we went to dog shows and stuff like that, if it was outdoors, she would bring the sunscreen. She would make sure there was sunscreen for me because there was one show. This is actually kind of a funny story. There was one show that I didn't have sunscreen. It was in Denver. And I burnt pretty badly. And her boyfriend, who was our dog handler, he and I smoked the same cigarettes. And so he wanted to borrow a pack, and I had come in, taken a shower, covered myself in vinegar because that took the sting out, and then climbed and took 4 Advil and climbed into bed. And I was just about to sleep when the phone rang, and he asked if he could have a pack of cigarettes, and I kind of snapped sure. And he came down. When they knocked on the door, I walked to the door, butt ass naked, threw the pack out the door, slammed the door, and went back to bed. And from then on, Wendy was like, sunburn, sin, ooh, no. You know?
Sunburn is bad. I have burnt myself to a crisp. It's easy. Yeah, white but white.
Oh, how cute.
White but white. That's adorable, Janelle.
Yeah. Cute. That's
What's
cute,
that?
Dusty. That's one of his turtles.
Oh, that's so cute.
He's pissed.
I bet he is.
I just woke him up, dude. My lights are off on everything.
He's like, what are you doing to me?
Well, are they normally friendly?
Yes, these ones are these are your pet shop turtle.
Yeah, that's cute.
But they're just not native to the state.
Yeah, so you have to keep them.
When you find them, because I pull them off the street, and I was talking to our reptile store, and they just flat out tell you if you give them to the FWC, the Florida Wildlife Conservation, they're going to euthanize it. So don't give it to them.
Right.
And don't release it because you're not supposed to. So don't just release it back in the wild. And they enjoy your new pet.
Yeah.
And I got a thing, I got a thing made out with the Tarpon Springs Aquarium. So if I get too many of them and I can't handle them anymore, I take them to them. And then they got a deal worked out with an officer from the FWC who has property up north, and he takes them all up there and releases them in a pond. So I'm a no-kill slider turtle shelter. How about that shit?
So cool, Dusty.
I'm putting him back. Hang on.
Okay.
Let him go back to sleep, poor guy.
That is so cool. I had no idea he did that.
Yeah. What I want to do if I ever have the money, if I win the lottery or whatever, is I want to get enough property where I can be a rescue for retired racehorses.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing.
Yeah. So that's really what I would like to do. I don't have that kind of property, but it is an issue. And I really, really, hey, Sir Crepitus. I really, really would like to do retired racehorses. And not the ones, not necessarily because they have programs where they retrain them to do other jobs. My thought process is I want to take the ones that were injured enough that they're what we call pasture pets, where you can't really ride them because those are really hard to find a home for.
Because people want a horse they can ride.
Exactly.
I just lost a piece of my earbud.
Oh,
that's so frustrating.
See if I got any extras in my thing here.
Yeah, I had my headset on and decided to go ahead and put the earbuds on because I looked weird.
I am sure you looked fine.
Yeah. I'm with you, Indigo. It's really infuriating when people do that. As in my life, I've done a lot of things. One was the demo shop, but prior to that, I was a former veterinary assistant in an emergency clinic. So we saw a lot of things where people decided they just didn't want their pet anymore and was bringing it to us to put to sleep. And it was like, really perfectly fine dog or cat, and you're gonna kill it. Why? It was very difficult, and usually we tried to talk them into letting us find a home for it, and we were successful probably about 95% of the time. We had a few people that were just like, no, and of course, as we had to do it because they're the owner, And our reaction to that was, you know, after the person left, who had the audacity to cry while we did it, was what an asshole, you know.
Yeah. That sounds
So,
awful. That
it was
sounds
horrid.
awful.
It was horrid. That was probably the
Janelle,
hardest part of my job.
yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. My husband used to work for a kill shelter for the
Yeah, it's
county
hard.
when he was a
That's hard.
kid, and it was really hard. It was really
Mhm.
hard. Janelle
Yeah.
H., I would love a meetup at Portland this summer for some Chalk Tech. Feel free to hit me up.
Yeah.
Well, I might maybe heading out there sooner than later.
Cool.
For a
'Cause,
meetup for some Chalk
'cause
Tech?
our stuff is changing.
Ah,
We have
your stuff
sudden
is changing.
our trip to LA has
Ah,
we don't it's we're I'm not going to say it's been canceled yet, but it's
going through some adjustments.
I'm a swimming pool guy and I do have a pool too, so Carrie Ann and I were talking about that earlier. I started
We
cleaning
were.
pools out in California when I was about 19 years old, fresh out of high school, and I've been cleaning pools ever since.
Yeah.
About
Yeah,
35 years.
Yeah, we don't have a pool.
We don't have a pool. We live. The people don't have pools in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, like generally,
Yeah.
it's not your normal thing.
Pools are
we have a
expensive
community
if you
pool.
don't know what you're doing.
We have a community pool. We let the community take care of it. Heck with that.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, Pup Groomer, you're not going to LA?
I'm sorry, Jen.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll go out there. I bet you got a 4-wheel drive.
Can we meet up after Chalk Tech at a restaurant, Mischief? Of course we can.
Yeah.
With a bathroom.
If I could go out there, I want to there's a bunch of things I want to do. I would like to get go on that trip around the Columbia River, that scenic drive from Washington.
Oh, yeah, there's some beautiful
waterfalls
scenery.
And
I wouldn't mind doing that.
I think it would be a freaking blast to get a bunch of people to go up to the mill for shits and giggles.
I would love to do that too. That would be so much fun.
And
it's not that far of a drive. It might be 2 hours tops.
To where?
Maybe to the mill.
From Portland?
Yeah.
No, I think it's well under an hour. I think it's more like, it's not far. 30 miles?
Yeah, but it's country roads.
Still not bad.
Multnomah Falls, absolutely, Janelle.
You know, I would really like to go back up into that area. My dad used to live up there, and we visited once. And now he's back. He's here in Texas. So
there it is. Janelle, thank you so much. That's my father. My father rebuilt that mill.
Oh, yes, nice. Woodland, Janelle, in Woodland.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going. I'd like to do some trips, but I just can't afford it. It's like, you know, I wanted to go on this cruise with this, what is it, September, and with everybody, and I just can't afford it. Yeah, I can't afford it. I don't make a whole lot of money. In fact, I don't make any. My husband works his ass off.
He shared a cabin was still like $1,300 a piece.
Yeah. I mean,
Indigo Twin.
That's what
Indigo Twin. That's probably McMenamin's.
Mm-hmm.
Indigo Twin says they got to visit a pretty neat hotel. McMenamin's is a chain of restaurants and hotels and theaters and performance halls that purchases old buildings in Oregon, Washington, and Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
Old buildings like, you know, for example, maybe the Portland Org type of old building, those kinds of old buildings that are old historic buildings with a history, and renovates them into restaurants and hotels.
Yeah.
And
That's
in the
cool.
case of the sanitarium, they've got a pool on site. They've got hot tub. I mean, they've got all this stuff. It's like the sanitarium from the 1920s
Oh, wow.
on acres and acres of grounds.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Mischief.
Yeah.
It would be really cool if I do go out there to get my brother to drive up from Coos Bay. I think that would be a
Oh, that would
freaking
be
gas.
amazing. Well, or we could drive to Coos Bay.
Ooh.
Because
Is
Coos Bay is
it still
amazing.
55 miles an hour in Oregon? It was 55 for many years.
No, it's 65 now.
Oh, 65. It will still take it 10 hours.
Yeah, we have roads now here in Texas that are 80 to 85. If you go out in West Texas, it's 85 to 90.
Oh yeah, that's not a thing here in Oregon.
Last time I was out, I don't want to say the last time, I went out to fly to my father's house before he passed away. My brother Danny came up and got me, and we drove to Coos Bay. And then I had to fly back out of Eugene.
Seattle.
And the trip from Portland to Coos Bay at 55 miles an hour took for frickin' ever. Then we were running late on the Eugene trip again, 55 miles an hour. It's like, fuck.
I can't drive 55.
Exactly. So now you are absolutely right.
We're still talking,
Edgefield was
like 2003-ish.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to do some more traveling. I've been to every state in the United States, and except for Hawaii and Alaska, mainly because my husband drove 18-wheeler and I lived in the truck with him. And here's the funny thing. I lived in an 18-wheeler with him, and that's when we went to Oregon. You couldn't see a whole lot because you can't take an 18-wheeler into these neat places. But the funniest thing when I talk about being in the truck with my husband, you're in this little small area, which is about the size of a station wagon, right? Only taller. And the worst fight for 7 years now, the worst fight my husband and I ever got into was whether or not a little town called Fort Chiswell was on the map. He wanted to know what the mile marker for the Fort Chiswell exit was, and he's like, I could ask him, what was the two highways that came together? Fort Chiswell?
I could go to Chicago so easily.
Chicago's probably an easier trip than Portland from where you are.
40, who knows? Anyway, these two highways.
Mischief is right, Dusty. Sorry.
These two highways
I got a good friend there that has a limo.
Yeah, these two highways came together, and he was like going, do you see where 81 and 40 come together? And I'm like, yes. He says, it's right there. And I'm like, no, it's not. And, I mean, back and forth. He's just right there. And I'm like, no, it's not. And it's right on the map. It's right there. And I'm like, no, it's not. Finally, I got mad, and I said, you fucking find it. And I slammed the map down on the center console, picked it up, and he puts it on the steering wheel. He's driving. He's looking. He goes, it's not there. It was some little town that was there, another town. He was talking about the truck stop name of Fort Chiswell.
Okay.
The town
where I live right now, I absolutely love it. It's a little bit hot here, but I just love it here. And we got here right at a good time. Our house was $250 when we bought it, and 5 years later, it's worth $5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
My golden years, I plan on doing the RV, which we call a land yacht, and travel around like Lake Powell, the Colorado Basin. I just fucking love it out there. Southern Utah.
Yeah, my dad did that. My dad and stepmother were in a motorhome. Well, they hauled a big trailer behind them, but they did that for years and absolutely loved it. I wouldn't mind doing it. Although, having lived in the 18-wheeler kind of did that for me, but we just traveled everywhere. We did Canada. We did all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun at the time. But we had an accident in 2011, and that was basically the good Lord saying, yeah, you're done. because have you seen the inside of an 18-wheeler? You see that big stick shift that's sitting up there. It's sitting right behind. Well, the accident was there was a guy in another truck that went over the top of a hill and stopped in what we call the granny lane. And we were doing 65. The truck was governed at 70, but we were doing 65. And of course, going up a hill fully loaded, we were actually probably doing about 55. And we got up to the top of the hill, and there he was, and couldn't stop fast enough, and hit the back end of him. And that stick shift that I was talking about was 3 feet back and in the floor. The engine went under the truck. The load came off and hit the top of the cab and took the top of the cab off. I was asleep in the bunk, thank God, because normally I was in a chair in the back. It like 2 inches over my husband's head, the top of the cab was taken off. And I came to underneath the desk, and I got out, sort of my head out from underneath there, and looked up and saw stars. And I'm like, what happened? And I was knocked out, and he was trying to, he was calling me, and I wasn't answering. He was really worried. And they had to basically cut me out of there because everything fell on top of me. And
oh my goodness.
Yeah, he fractured his sternum. The seatbelt fractured his sternum. And I had a head injury, which I still mess with a lot. But yeah, that was it. Basically, somebody stood there and, put his hand on the engine so that it would go underneath, and his hand on the top so it wouldn't cut top of my husband's head off, and the load came off. And we decided, that we're not doing that anymore, because when you're talking about driving that much, it's not a case of if you will,
it's a case of,
it's a when and how bad. And the only thing that we kept thinking about in all of that was, thank God there wasn't a car in between the two of us, because they wouldn't have survived.
Right.
So, I mean, it was a bad, they had to airlift. They thought I had, they knew I had hit my head, but they really thought that I had cut my throat because my eye was bleeding so much that it had come down. And so they airlifted us out. That was a wonderful $2,200, for the helicopter flight to San Antonio from Seguin. And my dog was in the car at the truck at the time. And so I called my best friend, and the first thing I said, Wendy, find my dog, because they got him out, but obviously he went to animal control in Seguin, and I'm like, find my dog, So
that would be a good reason to go to LA right there. I did go to trucking school. I had a free pass to go to trucking school. I actually graduated, got my doubles and triples and hazmats and tankers and all that kind of stuff. And that was the end of my driving truck, was right there at that school.
Yeah.
I never got out on the road. I was like,
it really was the things you see and the things that people do. Guys, you have to realize, if you're driving, be aware of these trucks, because you can change lanes and stop on a dime. These trucks are running 80,000 pounds. They're not going to stop, The
school I went to was a Swift school, and I wasn't there on the Swift contract, but my brother did go to trucking school through the Swift contract, and I knew all about their bullshit long before I went to that school. And since my license and training was already prepaid, and it was actually as from me, but it was a grant that was given to me. And I was such an ass to the Swift people the whole time, because they had a pretty good scam on buying your
lease purchase.
Yeah, they get you to go to their school. They pay for your license to drive their trucks, and then you sign a contract saying you're going to drive their truck for X amount of years, or you have to pay for your license for the school that you went to. But the thing is, since mine was on a grant and I got it at the cheapest it was like $2,400 for me. My grant was like $2,500. So but the guys on the Swift, if they didn't finish that contract, their license was like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
Yep. Well, we used to call Swift slow white internationals for trainees.
Yeah, the slowest truck.
Yeah.
They automatically team you with somebody that probably hasn't bathed in months.
Yeah.
They make it sound like you're going to be making all kinds of good money, and it's
yeah, I mean, it's decent. I mean, it's great for a single young guy, that doesn't have.
that wants to stay single.
Yeah, exactly. It's really great for that. But if you have a family or someone at home, oh, it's horrid. You're basically see them once every 2 weeks for about 24 hours.
I went to American Truck Driving School in Wheat Ridge, Colorado is where I went. It was a Swift school. They fucking hated me because I was an asshole. And I was like, I'm not even planning on driving, but I got this grant. I have nothing but time. You guys are fucking bad trainers. And they did not like me at all. I was like,
well, we get it was always at truck stops. It was always Swift trucks or JB Hunt that would back into somebody getting into a parking spot, or or as they're pulling out, they take the front end off another truck. It was always one of those two. I think you're muted, sweetie.
Am I muted?
No, carry in.
I am muted.
Oh,
Y'all are hilarious.
I thought I might have.
I've been muted for a while. I'm muted for a while.
You're probably laughing
hey,
about
Wolf
a truck
Machine.
driving shit.
I've been going, oh wow, oh my goodness, oh wow, oh my goodness. But I want it. Wolf Machine said her mother was killed in an accident with an 18-wheeler.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
We're really sorry, Wolf.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we were almost killed. And if I were to ever show you the pictures from the wreck, you would say, how did you walk away from that?
Wow.
So
when I was getting my license and there was 3 of us in the cab, and
oh my God,
my partner that I was with in the cab on training, this is during training at the school. I saw that guy a couple years later on the news because he was in a big accident. He was fine, but when I saw him on the news, I was like, that's the guy that I was in the truck with.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we had one guy, Pete pulled flatbed. So we would go get the big rolls of steel. And we had one guy, Pete was always really careful about lots and lots of chains. I mean, you'd overdo the chains. And this one guy came and he got this huge roll of steel. And he put one chain around the bottom. That was it. And drove off. Loaded suicide. And Pete just said loaded suicide, which means that the eye of the roll is to the sides, not to the front. Okay. And we got down the road and huge backup. And when we got up to the wreck, it was that same guy. He had to slam on his brake, broke the chain, and it rolled over the top of his cab, killed him and 3 other people in 3 other cars in front. So yeah, some of these truck drivers they just don't.
They want to know if you got the dog back.
Yeah,
oh yes, I did. I did.
Okay,
I did.
Good.
Yes, Wendy found him and my husband, and Wendy went and picked him up the next day. So yeah,
Wolf Machine, I'm still really sorry, but yes, do not drink and drive.
Agreed.
It's a bad combination. It's kind of like thinking that cigarettes will make you not smoking cigarettes will make you have cancer. That you need to smoke cigarettes in order to not have cancer.
That is the dumbest thing. I'm sorry. It just is.
Yes, hi Indigo Twin. This is Orion.
Awesome.
Orion is
mine don't pay
3
no attention
years
to me.
old.
I would have to have Mama to come in here before my dogs would come in here.
Okay, well, Casey, come in. Let me see if I can get Casey to come and visit. Here he is.
Oh, what a beauty.
Thank you. This is the dog that I rescued. This is my best friend's dog, and she got him, Casey. She got him, there went my earbud. She got him right before she found out she had stage 4 cancer.
I'm so sorry.
And so when she got so sick, she and I used to show dogs together. And when she got so sick, I told her family that if Casey had nowhere to go, he had a home at my house, no matter what, no questions asked. And so, yes, now I have Casey. He's one of the three.
Nice.
Mischief wants to go on a
I'm
road
so
trip.
glad you
Mischief,
got
where
him.
you at? Where you want to go?
Yeah.
Mischief's in Portland, Dusty.
Oh, okay. So
Mischief's been asking who's going to make all the arrangements. I think it sounds like I'm getting nominated.
we haven't done any plans yet.
No, we haven't made any plans for sure yet.
Daddy has the damn headlight in the way. Daddy, can you move the headlight?
I could go out there in the drop of a hat, though.
I'm trying to.
Yes, I know. We just have to negotiate. We
I
just
got-
have
I
to
got
negotiate
family
with
there.
the rest of your crew. Yes, Indigo Twin. My dog is a miniature
Oh,
dachshund.
thank you. Thank you.
Show him your horse of a cat.
All right.
She got a 112-pound cat, you guys.
I do not have a 112-pound cat.
Here. We don't need
Just because he's bigger than the dog, Dusty.
It's a large Maine Coon. It's about this big.
Come here.
He's pretty big. He is pretty big.
Mama's in here now, so we're the dogs.
Okay, this one here.
See.
What is that?
This is Ozzy. This is my husband back here.
Sorry.
That's a good look in there.
But this one, if he'd cooperate, that's Ozzy. He's the youngest, but he's the biggest.
Oh my.
And then I have the old lady Sabbath who
outside?
can't really climb.
Let's
up
see if
here.
I can find one.
Yeah. Sabbath is the old lady. She is the one that she wasn't the one in the truck. He died Christmas about 5 years ago. But she was with him. So
Okay.
but she's
Okay.
the old lady.
She's the old
10.
lady now.
Yeah, she's 10. So
Come here, dog. Oh, hang on. Let me get my piece in. I lost one of my little rubber tips.
Pup groomer, I think that's an excellent idea. For what I pay for pup
Okay,
for
come here.
puppy
Come
for
here.
pup grooming out here, I could practically fly out and make the 4-hour drive, especially if other people were coming. It's
look
it's
at the
an
golden.
idea.
Oh, love them. Love the golden.
They're so pretty.
Gorgeous.
See if I can get him in there. That's Peggy.
got him.
Yeah. There they are. Look at those
What
beautiful girls.
babies. Beautiful dogs.
Tom, 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 tom. Do you guys ever watch dumb dog videos on YouTube, like the
Yeah.
like the bully that has all the costumes that's always eating food and stuff and it's chomping away.
I like the one where they put the voiceover with the dog. You know, I got you something.
Oh, the Tatum. Tatum's one of my favorites.
God, he's hilarious.
Tatum's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Just funny as all get
That
out.
other golden retriever, Teddy. He's
Teddy,
funny as hell,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, and then
And
they
then
have
Tucker.
the three German shepherds where I see these on Facebook most of the time, but the 3 German shepherds where they're sitting behind this table and they try different foods and all of that. They're funny as all get out, you know.
I'm gonna have to learn how to do some Instagram stuff.
Instagram is pretty amazing for pets.
Yeah.
Indigo Twin, you have a great evening. Sleep well, please.
Sweet dreams, Indigo. I need to talk to you again on Discord. That was fun.
So you guys know how
Sunrise
to do
Dawn,
all
you
that
are
stuff.
just fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
Discord's a little beyond my abilities.
It's actually relatively easy, and on Liz's Discord, which I'm the actual owner of Liz's Discord.
Okay.
That excuse me. That was it used to be a gaming Discord that I just reworked. but it's actually really easy. And I have a how-to where I literally, as I did things, took pictures. And so you have pictures that show you how to set up your account and how to put your avatar up and all that other stuff. So, and it's actually really quite easy. And you can use the setup you're using right now to literally go into the voice chats, and you can stream
Look who's
through
here.
those. Hey,
Brain fog, it
All the
is.
way from my homeland of San Francisco. Welcome from Coldwater.
You always come up here.
It is so good to see you. She
I
was
was-
out there in San Francisco live streaming. I think actually not San Francisco. I think she was in Oakland
Mhm.
live streaming tonight. I was so pleased
Awesome.
for her.
Awesome.
I gotta say, gal, you got balls as big as church bells. Some of the places I seen you do your streams are shady areas. I know them well, and I appreciate what you do. I really do, and I am behind you 100%. And you talk to your
Gotcha,
chat.
Indigo.
I love that too.
I accepted your friend request there, Indigo.
Hold on a sec, guys. This time I'm going to make sure and unmute, though. I can't quite believe that I was muted for that whole story. Probably just as well. I would have interrupted all the way along.
Hey, Indigo. Yes, we can talk about that. She sent me a message on Discord.
I think that is a good choice, Brain Fog, and I support you in whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm originally from Alameda County, is where I grew up. I am from the town of Newark, California. It's where my wife and I both graduated high school.
Hey, Dusty Carey, were y'all the ones talking about doing the round the world thing for Lisa McPherson in December?
I wanted to.
You know what? We did talk about that with Cheryl. We thought it would be kind of a cool
I
thing
think it's
to do.
December 4th. I might have the day written down here, but this coming December is the 25th anniversary of the Lisa McPherson Candlelight Vigil. That Mark Bunker's been posting all that old footage lately with December 4th, and that day is also the 29th anniversary of her death.
Okay. I think, as y'all were talking about that, I think, because travel may be hard to get everybody to Florida to do that. But if we did that as a concerted effort at about the, same time,
or we could do it at the same time, for that time zone,
that area. Yes, exactly.
Yes. So that it becomes a rolling protest, right?
All the way around the world. That would be awesome. I think that would be amazing.
I would love to get I think it was the Presbyterian Church that's right there next to it. Their pastors did the ceremony there, and those old footages right there across the street from the Fort Harrison, and the flag wasn't there yet.
Yeah. I just think it would be, as Mischief just said, it would be epic. And
I think it would be epic too.
Mischief, are you north or south of LA? All right, guys, go ahead.
I think what you would have to do though is, get with somebody who has an in with people like Aaron and the Jens. I mean, I can talk to Liz about it. And I'm sure Mandy and
I got the in with Aaron, but Aaron is so busy. I
think we just start with the small channels. I think as small channels, we are very numerous, and we start just connecting with all the other small channels and talk
I would like
about
to get
it.
like Mark Bunker involved, but I'm just a little guy to Mark Bunker.
Right. My thought is though, if we can get not necessarily Aaron to be involved, but him to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Okay.
Which would get them involved.
Yeah, exactly. But if we could get everybody to promote doing that on the date at X time. Now, I'm not sure what time all of this would happen.
If we were to do across the country thing, it would probably best to start it off here in Florida.
Uh-huh.
And then link it to like
have it
Chicago
be
and
like
link it
at
to
1
like
o'clock.
John Poe up in Michigan, and then as the
Right.
times work its way across the country.
Right, exactly.
I would like to do it right there where they did it originally at the Pink Church, the
right.
Peace Memorial Presbyterian Church across the street, and then take it and walk the candlelight visual to the Lisa McPherson brick, which is about a block.
What day is that? What
the
date?
4th of December?
Yep. December
okay,
4th.
so the issue is going to be, is that a weekday or a week?
Yeah, what day does that fall on?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
So that might not be the best day to try
maybe
to do
the weekend, maybe the Friday night or the Saturday.
But yeah,
well,
but
I was
you want to do those anniversaries on the anniversary day. That's the whole.
Agreed. I mean, my thought is that that if we were doing something like this, Aaron would do his thing where he pulls up those live streams as they go. And that would be his contribution to that. But if we can literally put it together where these small channels and the protesters do this across the country, and that Aaron just pull them up as they go.
Yes, what Sandy exactly, Sandy Lee, what she's saying. Yep.
Exactly. And Aaron's already done that.
People involved like Sandy McKenna would be a good one if we can.
Tori Magoo.
Janelle, Saturday at the orgs at 2, because people are coming to class at 2. 2 is a good time.
Well,
I don't know, Dusty. I know. Oh, you want to do it as a candlelight thing.
I mean, we're talking December, so it'll start getting dark around 5 or 6.
Yep. So we could do 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Will that be dark enough for you guys?
Yeah, it would be early enough here where it would move its way across the country. It can go to Portland and work its way like the people that are in New York, the people like Bobby Joe Kellogg out there in Battle Creek. You get Detroit by John Poe. You can get, and then work its way across the country. You got the people in St. Louis. You got the people up north.
Austin. You got Pearl Snappy and Selfless Self and me, and there's a set here in Austin.
We haven't got to that time zone yet, but we still got
we move it down.
The Twin Cities with Natalie and maybe your mom, Carrie, and then we work our way. You got Denver, you got all those people.
Well, Denver's mountain. You got a central mountain.
What's Texas?
Texas would be like Kansas City.
All right, central. So you guys central would be time. That next.
Yeah.
St. Louis. So you got. There's somebody in Dallas. You got all those guys in Austin. I think somebody's been poking around Houston.
Have they?
And then you got California. You got the people that have been going to like Pasadena, LA, San Francisco, Sacramento. Then you got Portland and then Seattle.
Yep.
That's a lot of people in that group.
Give me a second. I got to check.
We need somebody that's a master at emailing because I'm dyslexic as hell.
I'm gonna pop off stage for a second. I'll be right back.
We're last here in the dusty corner.
Yeah, I need to check my blood sugar because I'm getting a low blood sugar alarm.
So. Okay. So go take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
You can't drive at night, but you can maybe set up a hotel if you can carpool with someone. Okay.
Where's that? Where am I at?
Well,
Saturdays
that's
or
mischief managed.
yeah, mischief. I asked that because my mother grew up the other side of LA. My mother grew up in Newhall, California, Saugus, Valencia. And I was looking forward to going to my grandparents' grave out there, but I don't know if that was going to actually happen.
Well, but you can always get to LA.
Yeah, it's my dislike for California. I would rather go to Portland other than going on a restaurant tour because I got a hankering for a lot of good food that I haven't had, especially Mexican food.
There's a lot of good Mexican food. There is a lot of good food here.
But I can go home to my brother's. I can go out to the Bay Area anytime. I really can. I could actually meet up with brain fog probably easier than anybody.
San Francisco's most central.
It's just I have places to stay, cars to use. I know my way around.
Got it.
So
yeah.
But gas is $5 a gallon, I think, right now. My mother's out there right now, so she told me just the other day. Because mom's coming home. My cousin wants mom to move out there, so
is she gonna do that?
She can do whatever she wants. She's more than welcome. I don't see one 80-year-old taking care of another, or one mid 80-year-old taking care of an upper 80-year-old any better.
It seems to be what is the right analogy that I'm thinking of here?
Yes, Vegas Pup. We forgot about Pup. She's going to want to be involved.
Did we forget about Pup?
Yeah, we did. Sorry, sweetheart.
Vegas.
She's a tough chick, man. I watched her the other day going,
I know she is the girl I want.
I thought she was an Elko for this whole time, and I'm making comments about Elko, and she's like, what are you fucking talking about? And I thought Elko was rural. So when she told me where she lived, then I realized where she's rural, man. She's that, when you're in a plane and you're looking down over Nevada and you only see a fucking road down there. That's where she lives.
I think that's what she's been saying.
I can believe it. Pop, how far are you from like Area 54? You're probably closer to that than Elko. I only know all the main highways, and when I go to Vegas, I'm on my way to St. George. I can't be that close to my friends out in Colorado City without going out there.
Hi, St. Louis Scientology Squirrel. How are you doing? It is nice to see you in. She's not in Elko though, brain fog.
Have Voodoo Donuts.
They have Voodoo Donuts is 3 blocks.
I grew up on Winchell's. Winchell's.
Yeah. Well, I think Voodoo Donuts are overrated. I will admit.
So are Tim Horton Donuts. And so are Dunkin'. We got Dunkin' everywhere here.
Dunkin' Donuts. Well, we have kind of a cottage industry of donuts here. So we can take you on a tour of all the best donut places. It's kind of a contest here.
Nowhere. You are a badass.
Indeed she is. Indeed she is.
I know. Back to the sticker thing. I know we're not supposed to be sticking stickers, but if they mysteriously popped up everywhere overnight,
Right?
in
Except
Clearwater.
You guys need some stickers. She has got a thing. She's taking donations for stickers.
Not the
Dusty.
handmade ones. I want the ones she actually has made, not the handmade ones.
The ones she sent me were all handmade.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My blood sugar was like 76.
We're gonna have to get ones that are like feasible. I don't want her to hand make me 50 stickers.
Yeah.
One of the things I'd like to do with the stickers is when we're out on the street and we're living, and Cheryl's given me a bunch of stickers too over the months.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody acknowledges us and chats with us, I will give them a sticker to take with them. It's just one of the little SPTV stickers. It's nothing, but it's almost like a little thank you gift for taking the time.
Show that again.
That's one of Cheryl's.
Yeah,
those are great. Did she print those out?
Yeah, she had them made, but she didn't like them.
Okay.
And then I gotta take my phone apart to get to the other stickers that she does like.
Yeah, she gave me a little bag that had a bunch of stickers and a pin, and then of course I got 2 of these little guys.
You got one of the SPTV pins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those that I put on my my Sea Org outfit. And I got my little guy right here. Mine's a rescue. See how his eye.
Oh, you got one from Cheryl. Those are so adorable. No, I desperately want one.
I found that guy at the end of the Natalie meet and greet.
Oh.
And Cheryl said, go ahead and take him home. So he's a rescue with his Cyclops.
They are so adorable.
And I put him in the window of my car, and she yelled at me, "You can't leave him in there. That's abuse." That's the other
abuse.
Yeah, I want to take this little guy.
That one's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah,
when that's on my gimbal, that's what they see.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the ones I got from Jen?
I did. I'm all gushy jealous about it. And then I just recently got my hat.
I want to make a keychain out of one of mine.
That's Aaron's merch right there. And then the shirt that I have on right now, this is the John Poe SPTV Foundation shirt.
That's excellent.
I actually have an SPTV Foundation shirt in my merch store. And then I have it's hard to Pearl Fest. I don't know if I can get it.
Oh, nice.
So I've got that.
She's not in Elko.
No, so she's outside. I thought she was in Elko.
Awesome.
Here's another one. Look at that.
See, those are awesome.
She says she can make like 100 of these in an hour. Is that right? Is that what I read?
That's neat.
You can't make like one master and just have them ripped off.
Well, that's what she's doing. She's got a cutter. She prints them, and then she's got a cutter, and the cutter cuts them.
Oh, I see. So you're just home mass producing them. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's still got to take a minute.
It takes a minute. Yeah.
And I thank you, because I'm sure that's coming out of your pocket too. So just the thought alone you're so fabulous, fantastic for
Dusty.
doing that.
She'll pop in. Do you know her number? Do you know how to send her the link?
Who?
Or do I need to? Jen, she said she'll come in and talk about the stickers if you want.
Yeah, send her the link.
Okay, just a second. Let me find it.
Oh, I got the message from you. LOL, I'm here.
There it is.
Absolutely, jump in. We're when I played music, my stage was your stage. So if when I had those the high school band, you know, the kids from the high school band want to play on our stage, man, we're like, knock yourselves out. You can open up for us. Have at it, you guys. My stage is your stage. I don't care if you're going to stand on your head and do poetry.
I sent you a link, Jen.
So I've got some stuff that I've got. You're talking about your shirts and stuff like these are the Oh Hell Knows merch store coming out. I've got it on your share screen. That's one of them.
That's freaking awesome.
Nice.
We're looking for something other than black, especially here.
There's the Gens United, the Gens and Never Ends United. That's that shirt. And then of course I have, hang on. Not that one. Then I have this one.
Very nice.
Those are fucking cool.
So those are at my merch store.
What merch company are you going through?
Merch store.
Fourth Wall. Fourth Wall, yeah.
I just got one thing up on my merch store last night. It's not very pretty. It was down and dirty when I was listening to a live. Oh, when I was listening to Jen last night, I was playing in Fourth Wall.
But I have that one. That's one of my favorites. I actually really like this one. You know what?
And this one's great.
Jen, we can't see you, but we definitely can hear you. Maybe.
And then on I want to say Sinfully Good, I have the you've seen Liz Ferris wear it. The Every Day's a Great Day Not to Be in a Cult. And
wonderful.
And it's also in the yellow. And it has the SPTV information on the back. So Liz has one. I think E also, I gave E one as well. So.
I got 2 Liz shirts. I got the Every Day's a Great Day Not to Be in a Cult.
Yeah. I don't think I have a picture of that.
No, that's Aaron's shirt. I got the Hip Hip Hooray, Have a Cult Free Day. And then I got the Traveling Never In shirt that I got everybody to sign.
That's
wonderful. Jen, can we hear you?
I can't get enough of that
I haven't
stuff.
said anything yet. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Now we can see you too.
Do people want to know if you have a PayPal link? I think she does, y'all.
I don't have a PayPal. Yeah,
Everybody wants to order stickers. It's really nice meeting you face to face for the first time, by the way. Welcome to the Dusty Corner.
You too. I have got a bad echo, so give me a second.
Okay.
It may be that you're hearing the actual stream off of YouTube and through StreamYard as well, because I have to turn off the YouTube.
Yeah, you got to turn off the YouTube.
There we go. Got it.
I met Pep when she and I were on the chatathon together.
Nice. Nice. So Pop, what do people do if they would like some stickers? How can they make a donation?
And buy me a coffee. I am not selling stickers.
Yes,
selling
she is
stickers,
not selling stickers.
Would require me to collect taxes, and I am not dealing with all taxes. If you would like stickers and are able to donate for materials, you are more than welcome to do that. Not everybody is able. Right now I'm focusing on streamers, and then I can take your name for once I get stickers out to all of the streamers that want some. Then I am going to start sending them out to others that would like some.
Cool. Very cool.
That's awesome. Your work's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome work. You do awesome work.
Thank you.
You know, I have to get one of my Angry Tatas shirt, which is that blue one with the warning on the back. Because I have a stream that I want to do, like I said, after we find out how Tony's doing and get through that. About the the trouble
There it is.
boobs can get into on their own.
I'm going to leave that up. I got to run.
You know, and my thought process is we get some of us women who have, you know, have those issues, and get us all together and then put one male representative in there, so that, you know, just because to get their viewpoint, you know, and then talk about things that boobs get into on their own.
Right.
You know,
Frosting. They get into frosting.
Mine get into
in my line of work.
Yeah,
I cannot tell you how many times. I cannot tell you how many times a dog has turned around and nipped. One of the nips.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. In vet medicine, I've had that same issue. Or
no.
Or you're holding.
I cannot tell you how many times it has happened over 20 years.
Oh God, yeah. Or you're holding a kitten, you know, and the vet's doing the exam and giving the shots, and the next thing you know, the kitten's down your shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blue is steel. Sorry, guys.
That was something to come back into, Dusty?
Yeah. Dusty's coming out to the.
Hey, I was in a chat room full of women last night. I noticed here I am, the ABBA fan, and I'm in a chat room full of women.
Well, here's the funny thing with me. I can remember back when I was in high school. When I was in high school, it was still blackboards and chalk. Okay. So I was in a math class, and he was calling everybody up to put their homework problems up on the board. And you had to find a place on this board where all these problems were, to write yours. And so the only spot I could find was really high up on this blackboard. So I'm up here writing, and I'm wearing this black turtleneck to school, and I'm up here writing my problem. And when I turn around, I have 2 white spots, you know, and I've erased part of the board.
Oh my.
Yes.
You know, and I'm thinking,
my.
Yeah, and you have to understand, the classroom was taught by one of the football coaches, so all the football popular kids were in that class.
Oh Lord.
You know? Yeah.
That boob technologies goes way back, way back.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
You know.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You know, so how embarrassing that was, and that, and I had another I had another incident where right as I walked in the door of the classroom, my bra strap broke. So I had, you know, and of course the coach, I'm over here grabbing for it, and the coach said, "What, busted loose?" And I'm like, "Fuck you." Yeah.
I love it that was your response. I love it that was your
response. My response too.
That happened today. That'd be too funny.
What do you say, right? You know, like
that so would have been my response too.
I would have slunk away in horror in high school. I wouldn't have had the wherewithal to turn around and say "fuck you." I'm impressed.
So Dusty, you're near the Clearwater area. Have you ever heard of Mulberry?
What is it?
Mulberry, the city, Mulberry.
Oh, I would have to look it up. I'm only been here 5 years.
Okay, it's on the south side of Lakeland.
Okay, I know where Lakeland is.
Take 37 out of Lakeland straight down. It's Highway 60. You come out of Tampa, Clearwater, take Highway 60 all the way through. It's literally just on the other side of County Line Road on Highway 60. From Plant City, you cross over County Line Road into Mulberry right on Highway 60. That's my old stomping grounds. That's where I grew up.
Okay, I'm in Largo, actually.
Okay, so yeah, literally take Highway 60 all the way down. I grew up right there on County Line Road and Highway 60.
Okay.
So the Plant City, Mulberry, Bradley, Pierce, the Nichols, that whole area. That's where I'm from.
That's your stomping ground, huh?
That's
Wow.
my stomping grounds. I
And
graduated
now
from
you live
Woodward
in the
High
middle of
School.
nowhere.
Middle
I
of
know.
nowhere. So Elko it's literally almost 200 miles from where I live to Elko, which is the closest Walmart.
Yeah, you were talking about that the other day.
It's amazing to
Holy
me.
shit, 200 miles to a Walmart?
I mean,
So-
I lived out in the country. I lived out in the country, and it was 15 minutes to an Albertsons and a half an hour to a Costco.
Closest Costco is Vegas or Salt Lake, which is 250
wow.
miles.
Wow.
Holy cow. That's a
Yeah.
long way. Yeah.
But
I
my
lived,
family is from Vegas. So my grandparents are Vegas. My parents grew up in Vegas, you know. So I've been in and out of Vegas my entire life.
That's scary, Dusty.
It is scary,
Oh, dear Lord.
Dusty.
You know, I see Stephen King in that somehow.
It's funny
This is
you
my
say
new
that.
mask, and I got the firefighter one.
The
This is
city
my-
where my husband works,
is
which
my
is just
garb.
over the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
one of Stephen King's books is
Uh-huh.
actually based on the city. The setting
wow.
of the book, Desperation,
Yeah.
that setting of the
Oh,
of the
wow.
town
Uh-huh.
is actually based on the town, the old mining town of Ruth,
Yeah.
Nevada, which is where my husband
Oh,
works.
okay. Yeah. My
Okay.
husband, I think my husband tells stories about Stephen King living. He lived up in Connecticut, as I recall. He something about sitting at a table and Stephen King. They're at a barbecue and there's a steak in front of him, and Stephen King picks up his fork and knife, looks down at the steak, and then gets up and runs into the room and starts writing a story. Something about the steak. I don't know. You know?
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stephen King spent a lot of time here when he was writing a lot of his books and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because it was so remote. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
the
Brain
setting
fog.
of
If you're out there, we'll send you a leak if you want to jump in. I would love.
I haven't met Brain Fog, you know, in any of the streams. I would love to.
Not
I
everybody
love
could
Brain
just hop
Fog.
on a
It-
live,
Brain
but if you
fog
can, I would
is-
love it.
she's
she
awesome.
tends to be
I
a little
love Brain
camera
Fog.
shy. But
You know, DJ was camera shy. He was concerned about how he looked and something about teeth. And I looked at him and I said, "Dude, I don't have any teeth in the upper part of my mouth, and most of them are gone in the bottom. And I'm on stream. It doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't matter what
I
you
ain't got
look
no
like,
teeth either.
you know." Yeah, I mean,
They're all fake.
Well, see, I'm to the point now. I have the implants put in, but the bridges cost $2,500, and I
Oh
don't have that kind
my,
of
yeah.
money. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
didn't
been
qualify
living with.
plants.
Well, I have to have implants because I have
What
a gag
I do
reflex.
in that
for it.
situation is I go down to Yuma, Arizona, and on the border there in Mexico, there's a town
Mhm.
called
Heard
Algodones.
that.
You could get those bridges pennies on the dollar at a cash value. You could pay cash cheaper than your copay at a dentist.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard
And
I
about
didn't
that.
qualify.
the savings you could actually get there too.
yeah. I'm 4 years from Medicare, and once you hit Medicare, you know, then all of that stuff
They'll
kicks
do
in,
it.
and yeah. So I've already been
Yeah, I
5
had,
years like this. I might as well.
We got Miss
had,
Kim in here.
Hey, Miss
Hey,
Kim.
Miss
Hi,
Kim.
Papa Cat.
If you want to
Well,
jump
tell
in,
her-
we'll get you a link if you want to jump in.
Tell her that she is always welcome,
Always,
and we
yeah.
we will honor her declination.
Yeah, I would really love to meet Brain Fog. I also
She's
love to meet
pretty
Blow
She's a
amazing.
Drill.
sweetheart. She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart.
I'd love to meet Blow Drill as well. I haven't met him. You know.
I have heard nothing but good things about Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan's a sweetheart too.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I've yet to meet them. There's a lot of people I'd really like to meet. Now I did meet Feral Cheryl at Pearl
The
Fest.
Pearl Fest. When you
Yeah.
guys broke
Oh, I
her.
want to
Absolutely.
meet. I want to meet
By
Cheryl.
the way.
She's amazing. She is amazing. Funny. She is the person she is online. She is in person.
I
She
wanna meet
has a
Cheryl so
sense of
much.
humor, and she is out there. I mean, she is out there. The funniest thing I saw her do at Pearl Fest was she ran. There was somebody coming out that Pearl knew the name of. Can't remember who it was, but anyway, she ran up to a certain part, and then she opens her arms and legs and just does this shimmy, and it's just like, oh my god, that's hilarious, you know.
She seems amazing. I really enjoyed spending time with her earlier this week with Dusty.
Yeah,
I talk to her
she's a lot
probably
of
twice
fun.
a day on the phone,
Love her to death. Absolutely love her.
finding out what's blowing up. She's got, and her and I have been talking about it, and people want to use her for her content. And I'm like, hold on to that stuff, because her father was an OT7 level Scientologist, and I don't know what her uncle is, but her uncle's he's in hospice now. So when her father passed away, she just got a treasure trove of all this Scientology shit from way back.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing when with the stuff that she did show. A lot of it was old school stuff.
Her uncle passing, she's coming across another treasure trove, and I'm like, hang on to that, use
Tell them
stuff.
about that water, Dusty. Tell them about it.
What was it?
Theta water.
Theta water. It was bottled water
Theta
that
water.
Scientology produced, and
wow,
they labeled it somehow.
Insane.
It was
That's
too
insane.
damn fucking funny. Let's see if I can pull that up. That was too much.
I saw that. That was insane.
Yeah, that was
I saw her
insane.
one time.
Yeah, it was.
It was a
I'm
little nuts.
I'm not on
It was a
YouTube.
little nuts.
Loved meeting Liz, and let me tell you something. If you with Pearl Snappy, you see her in her streams, and she's very loud, and it's nothing compared to how she is in person. I mean, she is just, it is loud, and she is up there and in there. And the thing that impresses me the most about Pearl Snappy is that she knows the names of so many of those people coming out of that building, and how she found that out, I don't know, but she just knows exactly who they are and calls them out.
Who was the one that got on the building and got that footage of Dave Miscavige during the opening of that org? Somebody got
that was
up.
Pearl Snappy.
It was. That was
great. Where she was up in the parking garage. Yeah, she's up in the parking garage. Yeah, that was Pearl Snappy.
You had somebody that was speaking to the crowd that was like 6'2", and then Dave Miscavige comes up, and you can see the podium. And the podium's at the same level with David Miscavige as it was with that big guy that was in front of him.
Yeah.
I wish I could find out the name of the guy that I ran into in Vegas, because
has nobody come up with that name from
Nobody's come. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that just broke me.
That one was really hard, Jen. It was really hard.
Because I don't think I don't know how I could get. I mean, my phones, I've got two phones. One is my shop phone and one is my personal phone. And I use my shop phone because it's the S24 Ultra. So it's got the better recording values. But even it didn't pick up him because he was so soft spoken. And I could only hear him with my ears. But when he said, I don't want to reconnect, it was I don't know if anybody's ever actually caught that or heard somebody say that.
Hey, Barb.
So, and
hi, Barb. That's really awful.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
And I was prepared for a lot of things. I was prepared.
Well,
I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when I was down there, Lisa and I, see, now I'm going to cough. Lisa and I were down there one afternoon, and we heard a car door open, and then you heard steps bounding across the road like a 12-year-old. And we hadn't turned around, but it was clear that we were there. We had signs. Lisa had signs. And this 12-year-old bounded past us into the org. So somebody dropped her off on the street. So she would have to walk by protesters to go into the org.
Wow.
I was somebody let her off in the street and made her walk by protesters to walk into the org. Not that they were going to do anything to the child.
Thank you. What? They like to carry.
Not that we're going to do anything at all to the child, but like, would you do that? Make your child walk through the protesters?
I wouldn't. I mean, if I were on the other end of things, I mean, if they've been there enough knowing that you guys are no threat, then that's a little bit different. But
they sure seem to feel that we're a threat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
everybody
else acts like you are. So, I mean,
they freak out when they see me when their kids are there. They really do.
But, I mean, I got the "you're fat." The guy was walking by, was getting in Selfless's face, and then kind of got in Laura's face. And as he walked by, he leaned over and went, "You're fat."
I remember that.
You know, and tell me something I don't know, okay?
I watched every minute of that when you guys were out there.
I haven't gone very deep in depths of my own personal story, but I'm gonna just say this. My father is Navy, then went into the Army.
Oh wow.
Then is a biker. And that's
there. Lisa, if you want to jump in, we'll send you a link if you want to jump into the chat for shits and giggles.
Wow.
Somebody's saying, plus I have an older brother who's a former Marine.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Jen.
So you have a military family.
Somebody's saying you're fat. I'd probably laugh at him.
Well, you know, what was funny about it is I wasn't watching what I was actually filming. So I didn't see it until I went back and actually watched, but Laura saw it and heard it. And so she reacted, and I turned and looked I don't remember who was next message. Did he say I was fat? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like going, well, at least I get to eat taco, steak, and, lasagna. What do you get? Beans and rice, you know? I mean, that was
I get it too, because we get the public, especially when I'm around the main street there where the restaurants are. I can't think of it because it's getting late now, but where Tom Cruise's place is. We get the publics and they see us and they're like, hey, got you get a life? It's like, I got a life. This is what I do for shits and grins, dude. I'm usually out there. I travel. This is what I do for fun. You're the one that needs the life.
Yeah,
I'm here trying to help you, believe it or not. My life's fucking grand, actually.
Yeah, so I've been sitting here the last couple of days, and I have a stack of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 flyers that I've printed.
Oh, okay, cool. I need to go pick up some of those flyers so that I can do that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, cool.
God, you do such good work.
You do awesome work.
Doesn't she do?
All of these are available in my Dropbox.
We got another person from the UK here.
And now here's the same flyer in Spanish.
Oh, that's awesome. In Texas, that's big.
So all of these flyers are available in my Dropbox.
You'll have to send me a link to that.
It's on my community page. Or on the sptv.space site, the free flyers link at the top. will take you
Okay.
straight to my community page.
Welcome from the UK. Thank you for
Awesome.
being here. That is awesome. We got 2 people.
That's awesome.
I'm worldwide
Those
now,
are
folks.
nice.
In Spanish.
Yeah, I do know that DJ made a comment to me, and in one of my shirts, I've actually that the yellow one, the What Is a Cult shirt. I have one that's sort of adds the OnePlus for European. So because they have to dial 1 and then the phone number. So
this is one of my. This one is my most special.
Yeah,
that is your most special.
That's awesome.
So it's mental illness,
awesome.
LGBTQ. I can't remember all the letters, and disabled,
handicapped.
Handicapped. Yeah, those are awesome.
And in Spanish.
And
you
then might, to make them available for the European market, Jen, you might want to do the same exact sign and just add a 1 in front of the phone number for the foundation. That way they have the kick over for so they can get a hold of it and they can use them in Europe.
12:35 a.m. here.
And then this one was actually
that's awesome.
Brain fogs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Brain fogs quote. And anytime I use a quote from any of the streamers, I put their channel name on it.
You credit them. Yeah, you credit them. Awesome.
That, and anybody that sees it, they can actually look that up and go straight to their channel.
Awesome.
And I also have this one in Spanish.
Yeah, I didn't see that one before, Jen. That's amazing.
Yeah, that one's a fairly new one that I find. I've had it for a little while, and I finally put the flyer and put the graphic on it.
Okay,
and got it out.
Very nice. Yeah, DJ's the one who told me that to put the OnePlus, the phone number on stuff. So
I'll have to go back through and make
European. Just give them a folder that's European for them,
Yeah,
that might work.
Yeah, I have to go back through that.
Yeah, but he's the one who told me that, and so I've done that with the t-shirts.
Okay, I'll have to do that.
So one of the goofy things John Poe and I talked about when I go out there for concert night, now that my shift has changed, I might be able to go out there because downtown Clearwater has a big, amazing amphitheater there. And I go and I try to broadcast all the traffic in both sides of the Fort Harrison in front of Flag because it gets gridlocked when the concerts get out. And we were talking about doing a battery operated projector device to project an image up on the flag.
I think that would be so cool.
That would be cool.
And I don't think they could say anything about it.
Images,
no,
and turn them into t-shirts as well.
That's awesome.
Yes,
I have that logo. I have that Never Ends logo that I want to make available for people to use.
Yeah, you can take any of those flyers because I save them in JPEG format. And you can turn them into t-shirts as well.
Awesome. Hey, Lainey G, you were saying it sounds silly, but most people wouldn't know how to call from the UK. It is the OnePlus for the UK as well, isn't it? OnePlus, the phone number. Because I think that's all of Europe. Because I think the 1 designation is to get to the US. Is what I was told.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think each country has a prefix, like 1 or a 5 or 8 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would have to go look it up.
Yeah.
I'll look into it and then I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was what DJ
it would
told
be
me.
nothing for me to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It was nothing to do it. So,
because I can just go back through the master copies of each of them.
Right.
So,
So yeah. Anyway, so that would allow them to call the SPTV Foundation from wherever they're at. So
Tampa B Man is the Barbara that we do the Cheryl chant. Barbara. That's Barbara.
But she's not that Barb, is she?
No.
Yes, she
no,
is.
That's no.
She's
not the Barb on Aram Stream. That's not the Barb on Aram Stream.
SPT Tattoo Warrior.
SPT Tattoo Warrior. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Barb.
I just want to make that's Barb.
Tampa B Man is Barbara.
Barbara. Yeah.
Barbara. Got it.
She does some of the streaming when Aaron goes out and does the streaming at Flag.
Okay.
Barbara's one of our
I know
biggest
her
supporters.
Yeah.
I know Barbara from Reese's channel.
Exactly.
Yes.
She's been with me from day one. I thought she was a man originally. It was a month before I knew it was a woman.
Yeah, it took me a while
I remember that.
It took me a little while too.
We know each other well now, and she's one of my biggest supporters.
Yeah, she's great.
Emotionally and financially, she's helped me out.
I loved her the night that she was drinking on Reese's channel, and she just kept doing super chats, and Reese's like, "Stop!"
I remember that evening. It was hilarious.
It was so funny. And then she said, "Well, it's my husband's credit card," you know. Like, oh my God. You know.
Tampa B man, my husband played an MMORPG for several months, and everybody thought he was a female.
Okay, I thought you were drinking wine that night, Barbara.
Well, I do the chant, Barbara.
You weren't drinking?
Oh, that's funny. It was really funny though. Yeah, it was, and you did have a good time, and the rest of us did too, because it was really funny. That was hilarious. But yeah, I wish I could get out more and do more protesting. I've only done it the Pearl Fest. I keep wanting to get out there, but I'm a little bit nervous about being by myself. I'm not, I'd rather be out there with okay, I was drinking. See?
You're gonna make me cough, Barbara.
That was hilarious. But I just haven't, I'm not brave enough to go out there by myself and do it.
I think it's a lot to go out there by yourself.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a lot to go out there by yourself.
Yeah,
it is. And a lot of times
I
I'm
get
out there
creeped
by myself
out.
Too.
The worst part of it for me, especially when I'm out there at night, it's not that I worry about my safety. It's just so fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothers me more than anything, especially at night.
In the area of Portland that we are, I go during the day, on the weekdays. I'm not there after dark. I'm really careful about all of that.
Yeah.
And it's still nerve-wracking sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't let anybody get within 15 feet of me.
Well, I mean, I guess if I put Casey on a lead, no one would get within 15 feet of me, Yeah,
I don't have to worry about that too much because I don't go out there by myself. I usually have somebody in a vehicle down the way.
Brandon, that was our whole goal right there.
Yeah.
Please subscribe and smash that like button.
Yes, smash the like button.
Yeah,
and then I also have Mona with me too, and she's muzzle trained, so when I have her out with me and not in the car, she has her muzzle on because I'm not taking risks as far as them dropping anything that she could pick up and eat she is more than just a dog. She is my full service dog, so I gotta keep her healthy. I'm not risking losing her. She does a lot for me. She keeps me moving. She's dual use. She's mobility and psychiatric. So she does a lot for me. I'm not taking a chance of them dropping something and, her eating it and getting sick. There's been plenty of accusations of them poisoning dogs. I'm not taking that chance.
No. Yeah, exactly. I may, especially now that I'm really right now my sugars are bouncing all over the place. I may be thinking about getting like a diabetic service dog. It would cost too much to train a dog like Casey, who I have, but I mean, we were talking about training him for my son's epilepsy, and they looked and said, well, at his age, it'd be like $10,000. And I'm like, I can't afford that. That's why we got him a puppy, because it was only $2,000 to train the puppy. But I'm wondering if that might be something that I need to do because I'm having a lot of trouble with being high. My sugar's being high. But like tonight, I went low. So, and right now my phone, that was what the little alarm on my phone, and I had to go do something real quick. And my phone reads my blood sugar constantly. And it gave me an alarm that it was getting low, and it was 76. So it wasn't low, but it was something, and it was headed down. So that's why I had to go do something, So,
Yeah.
But these service
That's great
dogs,
though that they have monitors nowadays.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jen.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's great they have monitors nowadays that can keep such close track.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't telling me at the time. That's why I had to take it down, because my phone is what I'm using as my camera is also what reads the little thing on my arm.
Got it.
And so it wasn't telling me what my blood sugar was at the time. So I had to take it down and scan it to actually find out what it was. But like right now, I just went ahead and did a test regularly, and it was 96. So it's on its way back up. So
good.
Good. So,
in my case,
isn't it cool? Go ahead.
For what I need for my needs for my service dog, the ADA doesn't require professionally trained, and for service dogs, and they did that so that it doesn't restrict access.
Right.
And for my needs, I don't need to have her professionally trained. One, I am a certified trainer, so that's one thing, and two, even if I wasn't a certified trainer, for the needs that I have her for, I don't need that. For what you're doing and what you're looking for, it would absolutely help to have a professional trainer, at least for that portion of your training. Right. But something to think about is maybe to help cut your costs, if you can find a trainer to work with you, and you do part of the training and then do more of that task specific training to help cut your costs a little bit. So see if you can find a trainer that could help you, you guys work together to see if you can cut your training costs a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting on Jax, on my son's dog, they said they wanted a puppy between 3 to 6 months old. We have to do the obedience training. So we're going to take her over to PetSmart and just do an obedience class. That's what we're going to do.
Right.
And then the trainers for his actual epilepsy detection have donated their time to train him and her at the same time. So that's for his. For me, I've done a little bit of research video wise and so on. And one of the things they were saying, and I could probably do this with Casey, who started out as not a service dog, but a therapy dog. The thing is that when you're low sugar, you take a piece of cotton, you stick it in your mouth, and you do this, and then you freeze it, and you do a bunch of them. And and then you teach him what that scent is. And
and since you're hitting highs and lows, you would want to do that at both.
Right.
And what it is you're catching the hormone scent changes in your body, and you're teaching him to recognize those scent changes on you, so that he can alert to those scent changes. Exactly.
Yeah. And then teach him some sort of tell, like come up and start nosing me or put his foot on me. Or
nosing is
like
actually the most common alert. Nosing or pawing at you is the most common alerts for them.
Yeah. So I've kind of looked into it and seeing whether or not I can do some of the training on that. But I was always high before, and now that I'm starting to have lows because I'm on a new medication, I'm thinking that, okay, if my phone alerts me to a low, I'm just going to go get some gauze pads and cut them into pieces and just stick it in my mouth and then put it in the freezer. But you have to date it. I think it's something about dating, and it can only be like a couple of weeks old or something like that that you use. Something like
because
that.
The scent, the effectiveness of the scent can
fades
lower.
So that makes sense, because dogs can smell time.
Right.
So that makes sense that the effect would fade.
Right. So
Yep. The strength of the
so
smell fades over time. Yeah.
So my thought is that I might start teaching Casey, who has a tendency already to want to jump up and stick his nose in my ear and stuff like that, to actually have a time when he does that kind of things when I have an issue. So, just in case I'm not near my phone and I don't hear the alarm and he's there and
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So I mean, that's I'm looking into it. And yeah, like, can I train it myself? I don't necessarily have to have an ADA service dog, although, I might not be near my phone when I go to the grocery store.
Exactly.
So
now, something else to note is there is
Mhm.
actually no federally recognized registration list. The federal government
Okay.
does not have a registration list for service dogs.
Okay.
There is
FYI.
no such thing.
There is no such thing. So
That's against the HIPAA
there's-
Act, right?
well,
It's
it's
against
not
the
necessarily
ADA.
that. It's against the
ADA, yeah.
ADA. Now, there is a registration company that the ADA partners with, but it is not required under the ADA law. Okay.
Okay.
We are also not required to have to mark our dogs. However, the vast majority of us do to reduce how often we are bothered with our dogs.
Right. Well, it's
So
like
just some things, little nuggets to keep in your head.
Yeah, I know that when I worked at the grocery store, if somebody said, and they've now dropped it down to dogs and cats only, because some people would bring in snakes, it would freak people out.
There is only dogs recognized as service dogs, with very few and very stringent exceptions made for miniature horses up to a certain size.
Right.
That is
I
it.
heard that.
Anything else is an ESA.
Is an emotional support animal, which is
right.
And they
different
do not
category.
have the same public access rights as a service dog. It is only service dogs. And it was either 2011 or 2013. Let me check my sheet.
So if I get, as I'm working Casey and trying to get him trained. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was March 15th, 2011 that dogs were only, they changed, the ADA changed it and are only recognized.
What is that?
That is the strawberry shortcake my husband just brought me.
Oh,
ooh, yummy. So
yeah,
as of March,
my sugar load.
Sorry. So as of March 2011, only dogs are recognized as service animals.
So if I'm working on Casey myself and trying to teach him all of this stuff, can I get him a vest as a service dog in training?
You absolutely can.
Okay, even though he's not going through some training,
you absolutely
with
can. And all you need to do is get a note from your doctor to make it legal.
Gotcha. And then you carry that on you at all times.
You can even have a picture of it in your phone.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You don't have to show it to anybody, because you walk into a place of business and legally they are only allowed to ask you 2 questions. Is it a service dog? You answer yes. They are allowed to then ask you, what task or job is that dog trained to complete for your or related to your disability?
Which would be sugar detection.
Diabetic alert.
Diabetic alert. Okay.
That's all you have to say is diabetic alert.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That is his job. Now for Mona, if somebody were to ask me what Mona does, because she's dual use, all I have to say is she's a mobility aid.
Okay.
I don't even have to say anything about the psychiatric needs, which she performs crowd control. She also does stress and anxiety response. And that is the psychiatric services that she performs in public for me. I don't even have to get into that.
Disclose that, right?
No.
Exactly. All I have to say, because she's dual use, all I have to say is she's mobility aid, because she will help me because I have joint hypermobility. Right. So it's hard for me if I get down on the floor, it's hard for me to get up because my knees are so loose and they're weak. So in the past I have had to, and I have literally crawled across an aisle to get to a shelf to pull myself up, and damn near pulled that shelf down on top of myself.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't have the strength to get off the floor if I get down in my legs and my knees. Now that I have her, I can brace myself on her and push myself up.
Yeah.
So it's a safety thing for me and the location where I'm at.
Right. Because that's you having to use a shelf to pull yourself up. If you at a grocery store, you pull that whole shelf down, that would be bad. That would be a liability.
It's a liability
to
to the store.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
So
okay.
But
Not
she
to mention
also
bad for Jen.
Exactly. But she also has picked up to when I'm in a lot of pain, I don't walk very well. I tend to drag my feet and shuffle. So I've been known to trip and fall and stumble. In the last 20 years, I have fallen and broken 3 major bones. I broke my foot, I broke my tailbone, and I broke my arm.
What breed is she?
She's a pitty.
She's gonna be.
She's actually a staffy. If we want to get
Okay,
technical,
got you.
She's actually a staffy, which is a pitty breed.
Looking. Yeah, it's a pitty looking. It's I'm big into dogs. Like I used to show dogs. So, but yeah, Amstaffs are great dogs, strong dogs.
So she's actually the one in my profile picture.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So she has actually gotten to the point to where she can pick up when I'm shuffling my feet and dragging my feet before I realize it. And she'll bump my leg to make me pay attention to how I'm walking.
Awesome. I want to get with you, Jen, about some of this because, yeah, I mean, I realize you're in Vegas and I'm in Texas. That's kind of a far away, but we can visit through email or whatever. Because I do have a lot of questions on, how I would train Casey to do this stuff,
For sure.
because I think he would. And the nice thing about it is, I mean, I have in where I live, they try to limit you to 2 dogs. I have 4.
Here's
the
thing.
service
If
dogs
you
do not
have an
count.
Exactly. Because once you have your doctor sign off on them, they are no longer considered a pet. They are now medical equipment.
Right. And nobody can say anything. So you can have your 2 pets and then you have your service dogs. And that's kind of how we're working at. And so I will get with my endocrinologist and talk to him about that.
Yep. All you need to do is have your doctor sign off that this dog is now your service dog.
Okay. Even though in training. So do I have to put the in training tab on the vest? I have one of those vests.
While you're training on the vest, it would be best to have that. Yes.
Okay.
But for your paperwork from your doctor, no.
Okay. All right.
From your doctor, you would just need your name, the dog's name, and the service that the dog is providing for you.
Gotcha. Okay. I did hear something about my son came in as we're working with Stormy, his puppy. I did hear something about the ADA is now requiring all service dogs to have pet insurance on them now. Have you heard anything about that?
That would restrict service, and I have not heard, or restrict accessibility, and I've not heard anything about that.
Okay. I don't know where he got that information. Yeah, I don't know where he got that information. Probably from the guy that he's working with ADA and the service dog situation. But I'll double check with him.
That might be something that they're requesting.
Okay.
But the ADA works really hard to not limit access.
Okay.
And that would be something that would limit access.
Gotcha. Okay.
To require. Now they have to require that the dog still maintains all of its regular shots. That any pet would that's standard for any pet in your locality,
right?
Things like that. But I don't see that requiring insurance.
I mean, it's a good thing to have.
It absolutely is, and it could be a strong recommendation,
right?
But the ADA requiring insurance, I have not seen that, and I actually have. Hold that thought.
I can't
Okay.
see how they can do that from a legal perspective. I would.
Yeah, I don't either. When he
Yeah.
told me that, I was a little questioning about it.
I actually have the entire ADA law printed out, and I've gone over
Okay.
the entire service animal section,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I've not seen that in that section.
Okay. Well, he said it was coming up. I think he said in July or something was kind of what he made statement to. But
I will
I'll double
keep
check
an
with him.
eye out for you.
Yeah.
And if
yeah.
they do change that, I will let you know. But
That would be
again, that
great.
would be something that would restrict accessibility, and it's not something
Mhm.
that I see the ADA requiring.
I didn't either. I thought it was kind of odd when he said that, and I thought, "Are you sure?" So I don't know. Maybe it is.
This is the
this
entire
guy.
ADA. The entire
Yeah.
ADA law.
Right. Okay.
It's not just
All
the
right.
section about animals. This is the entire ADA law.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay. Yeah.
The entire thing. And I've read the entire section for service dogs or service animals. And it is not at this moment required.
Okay. Yeah, because I know
But
that
I will
we're
keep my
talking
eyes
about.
open.
I know that we're talking about service dogs that can't be aggressive, that type of stuff. Which is they have to be people friendly. That's the way it is. And so I get all of that, those types of things, and that would make sense. But the insurance thing to me just kind of went, what, So
Yeah, it's that like I said, I could understand why they would want
why
to
they
do
could
that.
do it. Yeah, I could too.
But it would be a factor that would restrict access.
Mm-hmm.
And the ADA works really hard to not restrict accessibility.
Do they require the animals be neutered?
No,
I can't imagine that they would.
I don't think they would either. The insurance thing, I think, because you're going to spend a whole lot less if you keep the insurance up than if you had to pay for some sort of catastrophic something that happened.
Right.
Yeah. So
it is recommended, but spaying and neutering, in the long run, just from my own experience, 20 years as a groomer, over 20 years as a groomer, my own experience, spaying and neutering at a healthy age does ultimately produce healthier animals in the long run, especially if you're actively breeding, things like that. It does lower the risk for false pregnancies that would result in, major health issues.
Or pyometras, those type of things,
things like that. It also can lower chances for other types of cancers, testicular cancer, in males, uterine cancer, cervical cancer, and that types of cancers in females.
Yeah. Being a vet tech, I used to give the same spiel. So
exactly. So you get it. So it is recommended that you spay and neuter your pets as well as your service dogs. But again, that is not something that is required under the ADA law, the way it is currently written.
Yeah, the reason for Casey not being neutered is he is he's got some incredible lines, and he probably could be shown and finished, but I just don't want to. I don't want to dick with it. Okay, that world, I lived in it for 30 years, and it is incredibly political, and I just don't want to. I don't want to mess with it any longer. So, but his lines are incredibly good, and he might be used for breeding at some time. That was why I have not neutered him yet. I'm still on that iffy. And he's also the dog that I rescued from my best friend who did not want to neuter him. So I'm kind of trying to fill what she wanted. She wanted him to be a therapy dog. She wanted him not to be neutered. And my thought is I don't want to do the therapy work because it means getting out and doing a lot of stuff, out in the real world, because you go to the hospital and do that. And my thought is if I can't make him a therapy dog, I have a need for a service dog, and maybe I could move him that way, and that would be, fulfilling what she wanted.
Right.
So that's kind of where we are on Casey. Now Ozzy's going to get neutered. I tend to wait quite a while on my shepherds on neutering and spaying, mainly because I want their secondary sex characteristics to come out. I want them to be mature.
So let me actually tell you some information.
Mhm.
For years and years and years, they've actually been recommending spay and neuter between 6 to 8 months
Right.
on all dogs and cats.
Correct.
Veterinarian scientists have actually started changing that recommendation.
Yes. I've read those studies too.
So you know what I'm fixing to say. They're
Yeah.
actually starting to recommend delay spay and neuter because they're finding that that's actually not been quite as healthy as they originally thought.
Correct.
In what way?
They're finding that it was not as healthy to the growth plates and the hormonal development
Yes, the hormonal development.
of
As
the
well as
animals
urinary incontinence. You get urinary incontinence with early spays and females.
So they're finding that those
Yeah.
animals that were delayed in the spay and neuter long term are actually tend to be healthier than those that were spayed and neutered at that 6 to 8 month mark.
Yeah.
It's because
So
they're allowed to reach full maturity before they were
Yes.
spayed and neutered.
Yeah. So they're saying, you know, what I've read is they're saying 2 to 3 years
Yes.
on spay and neuter because
Yes.
of
Wow.
because of the
they're-
growth plate and the
that's full
development.
maturity for the average
Yes.
animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So
that's a lot for a lot of people.
it is. I mean,
Exactly.
you have to be careful because you don't want accidental pregnancies.
Exactly.
You know,
People
but
aren't going to be that responsible.
exactly.
So it's tough because where do you find the fine line between responsibility and the ultimate,
and the health of the
of
pup.
your exactly.
Yeah, I mean, as a former breeder and as a former vet tech, I am, you know, Sabbath wasn't spayed until she was about 6, I want to say, and because I didn't need to. But like Ozzy, who is now 3. Yeah, I saw that.
I did too.
Hey, I finally got spayed last year. I hear you, Sandy.
I was gonna get spayed in my 30s.
I got emergency spayed, y'all.
I was gonna get
did
spayed
too
in my
last
30s,
year.
and they didn't. They ended up not doing it. So yeah, that was funny. But yeah, Ozzy is a slow mature. He's still very leggy and, you know, puppy looking, and so he's 3 now, so he's right at that top edge. And I'm still kind of waiting on him to look more, you know, mature, and we're getting to that point where I'm right on that line. I may give him another 6 months, but he's going to get neutered. You know, Jack's puppy, you know, we do have an intact male in the house, but the thing about it is, well, we have 2 right now, but the thing of it is that you can have an intact female and wait that period of time and have an intact male as long as you're on top of it. You just keep them apart, you know, and you realize that
it's a lot of work, but it can be done.
Yeah. And you have to also realize the length of the heat period of the animal, because the initial heat it's just swelling. It doesn't have the discharge, you know, and at the end it's swelling but no discharge. So as soon as your dog finishes doing the discharge, you still don't put them out with your male. You have to wait another week, you know. So and I think that's what people have trouble with, is they think, okay, the only time they can get pregnant is during that time of discharge. Well, no, you've got a week before and a week after, you know. And you don't realize this is every 6 months. It's not like it's every month, you know.
Right.
So you just have to, you have a 3-week period where you have to keep them apart.
Another truck driver.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's like my Schnauzer. We actually didn't get him fixed until he was about 3.5.
Yeah.
And so it was the same thing. I mean, it was tough. It was tough because he was a runner, and you gave him an inch and he was going to take 3 daggone miles.
Yes. Well,
you know,
so
so
Ozzy's that way.
But
You
So
know,
one of the
y'all,
things
y'all
so-
are the exception to the rule of dog owners.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this, you
Y'all
know, people
are
who
the
know-
exception to the rule. I mean,
Yeah.
I consider myself an average dog owner.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could barely handle what y'all are talking about, not because I couldn't handle it, but because my life's just not set up for that.
Right.
And
Right.
see, and
Yeah.
that's what
Mhm.
I was saying, you know,
And that's, yeah.
it's tough because we're talking about, you know, reality, life
Mhm.
versus, you know, what veterinarian scientists are now saying is
Correct.
the best thing.
Best thing to do.
So it's a really fine line. What do we do? How,
Mhm.
You know,
because right now the average vet is still recommending
saying
6 months.
6 months. You know, and they don't want to recommend earlier. First off, they don't want to do microsurgery.
No.
But you know, the thing is that a lot of these shelter dogs are being, you know, the puppies are being spayed and neutered before they leave, and that's
Yep.
at the
At 12 weeks,
8
I had
at 12
one.
weeks, and it's
Yep.
crazy.
I had one that came to see me to have her nails done. They had just adopted her, and she was on the tail end of her healing period, and she was 12 weeks old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too much.
You know,
That's too young.
I
My
think
dogs,
it's too
they
But they
young.
wouldn't
I
let
had
her
to wait
leave the
9
facility
months on
without
my
the
Yeah,
dogs
they won't.
because they're big.
Yeah, they won't. I mean, if you're talking about a big dog at 12 weeks, it's not exactly microsurgery. Let's look at a Chihuahua at 12 weeks. Okay.
Exactly.
They're tiny. And, you know,
Yep.
having been in that, I mean, I haven't done a spay, but I have certainly assisted numerous, you know. I mean, there's things you think about, the danger of the anesthetic itself on a 12-week-old dog. Okay. That was my job, was keep that animal breathing and going. Okay.
Thank you, Mom.
You know, what you have to deal with in keeping one of those dogs under anesthesia enough to get through that surgery, and then getting them awake fast enough, because the bad thing about small dogs in that situation is small dogs are notorious for going low sugar. And so, you know, in the space of a surgery, if that dog's sugar drops, you've got an issue, you know. And it's not fun to try to bring a dog up mid-surgery so that you can get sugar into them, you know. I mean, or trying to get an IV, because most vets do not do IV fluids while they're doing spay surgeries.
So you'd already have a line.
Yes, if you have a line,
I
you
was
can
like,
get in
why
there.
do you got to bring them up? I don't understand.
Because they have to be able to swallow.
Line.
Yeah, they have to be able to swallow. And
yeah,
so,
but I was assuming that you had a line. So, right?
99% of vets do not run unless the animal is an older animal, or there's an issue that you're very aware of, like the dog has seizures, or there's something, or a greyhound, the breed. You run lines on them, but 99% of vets will not run lines on spays and neuters.
Nope.
So,
and
you're
for those like me who live in the middle of nowhere, that for the longest time we just had 2 vets. Both of them were just old country ranch vets.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, there's a lot to consider. I mean, each vet does spays and neuters differently. Now cats, it's a little easier, but on dogs, there's vets who, when they're tying off the vessels and the horns of the, you know, because what you're doing is you're doing an ovariohysterectomy, so you're taking the ovaries and the uterus out. So you're leaving the cervix, and then you're leaving the ligaments that hold the ovaries. Okay, and both of those are very vascular. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, my dogs own my house. They just let me live here.
I saw that.
That's awesome.
Hey, we got on the topic of dogs. I could be here all day.
Oh God, you and me both.
All right, so now since we're on the dog topic, and this is something, Jen, that you ever thought about doing grooming instructional videos? One of the whole thing, I put this stream together one night is John did a thing on how to put together a live stream thing, and I would like to groom my dogs myself. So
I
I
actually
do.
have some grooming videos up with some tips and tricks for grooming and maintaining your dogs at home already.
Yes. And there's some great things.
I think the first thing I need
show
to know
grooming,
is
but I'm not going to do
the
that.
correct equipment to buy and start there.
Do you have a
And
shop
then-
vac?
Pen brush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shop vac's a good one.
A
I
good
can't
slicker
fire
brush
up
before the
if I
dogs
fire
for
up a shop vac next to Hank, he'll lose his mind.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you to go buy what I have at my shop, because a good force dryer is going to cost you several $100s for a one-use item. There's no point for you to go spend that kind of money when you most likely already have a piece of equipment at home that's a multi-use item that does practically the same thing, just not quite as strong as what I have at the shop.
Talking about the blow dryer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need
The
to know
shop
how
vac-
to correctly trim up his grinchy feet, as they call them.
Okay, that's a video that's on my to-do list, and I will be
that's
showing.
easy. Yeah, that's actually
Okay.
not too bad.
I need that
It's
one
not hard at
too,
all.
because Orion,
There's the scissors.
do you know
that
what
have
his
the
paws
curve
look
and
like,
stuff
honey?
that.
That is
I mean,
on my to-do list.
When you're
Okay.
talking about general grooming stuff, now, Grant, you have to realize that Pup comes from a professional grooming position. I come from a show grooming position, show grooming German Shepherds.
Actually,
So-
believe it or not, my shop in Florida where I was
Makes
at, any
it
given
bad.
day, 10 to 12 groomers. We groomed show dogs. So I am actually breed
Oh,
specific
cool.
groomer.
Yeah, see, I was German Shepherd, so there's not a lot of trimming and cutting you do on German Shepherds.
No, there's not.
It's basically you back brush them and you blow them dry so that their hair stands up and you make that top line and that's it. Okay,
Pretty much. And if any excess hair between the toes, you back brush to clean that, clean around the nails so the nails show nicely, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that on German Shepherd.
A lot of people out here with golden retrievers have them shaved, and my wife is not going to have anything like that. It's very common.
No,
German Shepherd, golden retrievers are a double-coated dog.
Yes.
You should never shave a double-coated dog.
No.
Okay.
And I see it over and over and over again, especially when
I'm going to
was still
show
cleaning
you a
swimming
picture, but give me a second to pull it up.
pools.
Oh my God.
You have to realize that coat keeps them cooler.
There are a lot of risks when you shave double-coated dogs. Veterinarian scientists could
not grow back.
That is one of the risks.
It could not grow
many
back.
many years we did not have a name for it. Veterinarian scientists in the last few years have finally started putting a name to it, and the name is clippering alopecia. It is a risk. It is not a guarantee. The more often, it is something about the action of the clipper blade with the hair. They still don't understand why or what, but it is something about the action of the clipper blade with the undercoat of the dog that can
got to be kidding me.
I am dead serious.
This
that
is
can
horrifying.
risk permanent damage to the coat, resulting in the coat not regrowing. It can happen after one time, or it can happen so slowly over time and repeated shaving that you don't even notice that it's happening until one day you just realize that the coat doesn't look right. Okay? So I'm going to show you this picture. This is a thermal image of a golden retriever in a lion cut.
Poor
So before
thing.
the shoulders is left natural, behind the shoulders is shaved. Okay. So you tell me, is that dog hotter on the rear end or colder?
Well, the dog is hotter on the rear end, Jen. That's pretty
Exactly.
obvious.
Doesn't have
Now,
protection.
the front end of the dog is left natural for the lion look. And it is shaved on the back end, shaved down. So it's not actually, when you take the natural coat, you're not actually cooling the dog off. Properly maintaining the coat, moisturizing the coat, properly brushing the coat, and removing the dead shed hair will actually keep the dog cooler. You're muted, Sin.
The double coat literally will keep a dog cooler than having a shave. I mean, when you're talking like the Huskies breeds, all of those breeds that are double coated, they're meant that way because the double coat allows the air to get into the skin to cool the dog. Whereas if you shave it, you have messed up the natural air conditioning for that animal. And they
properly maintaining the coat, removing the dead hair, properly moisturizing the coat so that it can lift with the wind, blow like it's supposed to. All of that's actually going to help cool the dog, then more so than actually shaving the dog.
Correct.
Shaving the dog, you're actually going to risk permanently damaging the coat. Not only
I just
are
let
you
it flow.
damaging the coat, but you're also risking exposing skin that is not meant to be exposed, because 90% of dogs with double coats have pink skin. Now, this is going to get into comparing dogs to people for a minute. Think of white people versus people of color. People of color have lower chances and lower counts and occurrences of skin cancer because they have more melanin in their skin. It protects them against skin cancer. Okay. When you look at statistics for counts and numbers of skin cancer, the numbers are going to be majority white people.
Correct.
Because we have less melanin in our skin. Dogs with double coats tend to have pink skin, which means they have no melanin in their skin. When you shave a double coated dog, what you're doing is you're actually exposing skin that does not have any melanin to the sun. So you are exposing skin and risking sunburn. I have seen sunburn to the point of permanent scarring.
Yes, I have to.
In a dog?
In a
dog.
I've seen it in a cat.
There are higher
too,
chances of skin cancer from being shaved repeatedly, and repeated chances and occurrences of skin cancer or a sunburn that has caused skin cancer in dogs.
Correct.
Because they've been shaved.
Yes.
This isn't the case for cats, right, Jen?
It is
typically no.
We've seen
most cats that are shaved are kept inside.
That is true.
Okay.
That is true. But I have
and
seen
we don't have the hair thing for cats. We don't have the double coat thing where they
typically no.
Okay.
Their hair is a little bit different than dog hair.
Yes.
Okay.
A dog has is coarser.
Okay.
The dog hair is coarser than a cat's hair, typically. I mean, I have seen sunburn in cat. It was a Persian that somebody had lots of mats on. They shaved it down and they would let the cat out. And it was a white cat that came in for a pretty nasty sunburn. Yeah. But
mine is so fine haired. Mine is so fine haired that he'll mat in an instant.
Yeah.
Like I'd have to spend an hour combing him each day.
Peggy gets these little dreadlocks behind her ear.
Yeah.
Hank will
Yeah.
Spot
we'll get him
shaving
in
is
the
completely different
Yes, correct.
than shaving an entire dog. If all you're doing is
Yes.
just popping out little dreadnought, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever you
That
do,
is
do not
especially
use
right here. I
scissors.
think it drives her crazy.
Yeah, whatever you
Yeah,
do on a
that's
dog,
fine.
especially flop-eared like that, or even my prick-eared dogs, if they have a big mat behind there, do not use scissors, please.
No. Use
You can cut
use a
their
safe
skin
pair of
real easy.
clippers and just tap at the
Tap
base of
it.
the mat.
Yes, exactly.
Gently.
So that you're just clipping out the absolutely necessary hair to remove the mat. Okay.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a picture of a Pomeranian that has been shaved and has post-clippering alopecia.
Oh, that poor child.
So what has happened is his undercoat is not grown in, and his guard coat is trying to grow in, but it's not growing properly. This is what you can risk happening to a double-coated dog.
Yeah.
That's
So,
just
I mean,
terrible.
it's, yeah. So,
And
don't
my
shave your
dogs,
gold
if they want to cool off, they just go hop in the pool.
pool. Yeah.
There you go.
And they can swim out there all day long. They'll be happy as a clam if it didn't cost me so
Now,
much in chlorine.
because your dogs have flop ears, what I would suggest is doing a 50-50 mix of vinegar and alcohol, and when they come out of the pool, just squirt and rub, and because that'll dry out the ears and keep you from getting ear infections.
Also, if
We
they
have that
smell real heavily of wet
Irrigation
dog,
stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
you can also take white distilled vinegar, 50-50 with water, and spritz them down. Once the vinegar dries, it's a natural deodorizer for the dogs.
Yes.
When you walk into my shop,
Oh.
any given day, I have on average 6 to 10 dogs a day, and I work by myself. I don't have bathers or anything like that. I am the only person in my shop.
Wow. Oh, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Holy cow.
So any given day, I have 6 to 10 dogs on average.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's so funny.
every time I finish bathing a dog,
Yes,
the last
flags
thing I
and
do
clear
before I
water.
start force drying the dog is spritz them down with this vinegar mix.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start force drying the dog before I put them in the kennel to finish drying, because I rotate everybody to get them all done and try to keep the same amount of time for everybody. And when you walk in my shop does not smell like wet dog.
Wet dog. Yeah, that's good.
Does not.
Because that's hard to do.
At all.
That's
So-
hard when you're talking about a lot of dogs that you got wet. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you need to refresh your dog in between baths, or even at the end of your bath, and you don't want that wet dog smell, spritz them down with vinegar and water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
And even if you let them air dry, that works.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm considering at one point, I'm not sure where I would do it, but having been a former vet tech, I'm thinking about doing animal first aid. You know, how if your dog steps on something and cuts his foot and bleeding profusely, how do you do a pressure bandage? How do you do, you know, if your dog gets hit by a car, you don't want to just pick them up off the road, because if they're hurting, they'll bite. So how do you do what I call a nose bow? You know,
see, I don't
muzzle.
even own muzzles in my shop. That's the technique I use.
Yeah, temporary muzzle.
Yep.
How to move a dog that's injured, those types of things. I've considered doing, just because I have that knowledge. And in fact, the vets, right now I'm doing a wound care on Sabbath. She has a sebaceous cyst that popped, and so I'm doing some wound care on her. You know, and the thing is that whenever you have a wound on an animal, I mean, granted, we've just said don't shave them, but when you're talking about an open wound on an animal, you want to shave.
That's a different ball of wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely different ball.
Yeah.
You know, spot
Because you
shaving
wouldn't get that
another
clear
room
out.
full of
get
women
the
talking
same
about
issues.
vinegar.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want the hair in the wound. That's literally what it is. And
exactly, because it needs to heal without the hair. Because
Correct.
if the wound heals with the hair inside the wound, it could end up turning into a whole abscess. It's not
Correct.
a good
It's
idea.
gonna
Correct.
be gross.
Yes.
Exactly.
Hey, Big
So-
Chief.
We got
So
another
yeah,
one
so
in there.
there's a lot of those, and right now Sabbath has a patch about yay big because she's been dealing
Sandy,
with
I'm here.
that wound.
You
But the
guys
other
are
thing
killing me.
is, yeah, the other thing is like if you have a dog that has a wound and people will put the e-collar on, and some dogs don't tolerate that well, put a shirt and just tie it up, or
Yeah.
take like a toddler onesie. If you have a small enough
Yep.
dog, and just put the onesie on them. They can't, as long as
They
they
have
can't get to
new
that
a
wound.
new type of the cone,
The blow up
it's not
ones, yeah.
cone. The
The
blow up
blow
ones,
up
those are nice
ones
too.
work well. They
Yeah,
they
yeah.
work
Nice too.
well.
See, the problem I'm having with the wound that Sabbath has, which is why she's wearing a shirt, is because she's not messing with it, but the boys are. The other two.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, you need
I
to keep
have
it completely
that.
covered.
Correct. I mean, in fact,
Yep.
I bandage it and then I cover it. So,
Yep.
yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of that's why I do that. So, if you have those situations where you have a couple of dogs and you have one with the wound that has to stay, the dog has to stay off of it, put a shirt on them,
Yep.
And the question that a lot of people give me a lot of times, or used to give me a lot of times, if they have a female that's intact, we're saying that we want to keep that dog. That's the other reason why people spay pretty early, is because they don't want a bleeding dog all over their house. So
Put a diaper on
they
them.
ask. Well, I don't put a diaper on them. What I do is I take like a pair of boys' underwear, and then I put one of those overnight women's incontinence pads in it.
Yep, that'll
So the
work
tail
too.
comes out the hole where the boy, and
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
Yep. Yep.
so yeah, so that's what I
That
do.
is
when I-
brilliant. Our
Yeah.
our cat had to have hip surgery because when you have 20-pound cats, one of the things that can happen is they break their hip bone.
Yeah.
And so the way they deal with that is basically turn it into a shoulder joint.
Mm-hmm.
But so he had to have surgery, and I had to keep him in something, and I ended up having to cut holes in the back of onesies because I could not figure out how to solve that problem that you just solved for me.
Yeah, just boys' underwear. Boys, are we going back to food?
Boys' underwear.
You guys
We're going back to trucks.
There's a whole conversation of truck.
Yeah, I
vinegar
see this. I've been
going on.
watching it
We've
go.
been watching it.
I've been
Conversation.
watching it go by.
You guys
No,
are
I'm serious.
fucking
You
awesome,
talk dogs
man.
with me,
I
and I
love
can
you
talk
guys
about
so
dogs all
much.
day long.
I'm that same way. Yeah.
Well, and
Beth,
y'all,
you
you
and
gotta
I-
you gotta realize Dusty knew he was inviting 3 women on the panel here. So
Well, we can go
I
back
just-
to the boobs.
I just
conversation
let
if
it
you'd
roll,
like.
man. Just let it roll.
Do we want to go back to the trouble boobs get into?
the trouble boobs get
Yeah,
into. There you go.
We could totally go for that conversation.
Oh yeah.
You
I'd
know,
love
don't
to have-
tease
I've
over
burnt
here.
myself.
I've gotten into some trouble.
I've burnt
God.
myself on a stove more than once.
Hey, remember Mrs. Doubtfire where her boobs catch on fire and she's
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
boobs get in trouble.
I mean,
they
Dusty, you walked away. You didn't even hear the comment that I made. I can't tell you how many times I've been grooming, and I've been literally had a dog on the table, turn around and nip the nips. Okay.
I mean,
I work with dogs. This is how it's part of my life.
and like you see, Pep and I could probably do a whole thing on talking about dogs between the two of us.
Yes.
Just literally.
Yes.
But
you guys should schedule that.
we should.
I'm like
we should have a good time with that.
serious.
Yeah.
What I like about it is, somebody said earlier we got a drama-free chat happening, and it's something I think we all needed so bad.
We all need.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's the drama is just, it's dumb. Just get over it and let's move on. That's kind of where I'm at with all the drama. But
Barbara, I have done that too.
We got to
Dunked
talk
in my
about
paintings.
Oh my God, with mine,
I have done that too.
Let's talk about periods.
It was one of
I
my
haven't had one of those in a long time.
So I've got one. I do these giant art painting or diamond painting.
My wife spayed herself with shit. I forgot where I was going with this stupid joke.
Yeah, apparently.
Remember I said I had a corner over here that was big diamond paintings?
Yeah.
She's trying to pull one down. Oh, she's showing us her secret place.
Oh, wow.
So I have these giant ones, and I can't tell you how many times I have been working on one of these giant ones, and I've gone to move, and it's been stuck to my boob.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a saying that is, if something, when I'm eating food, especially at a restaurant, it's like, if I ain't wearing it, it ain't good. Because
I've given up on wearing white shirts.
White shirts. It's my dream to own white shirts. I love white shirts. I like white button-down shirts. I like white t-shirts. I love white shirts.
Oh, that's
but you know
awesome.
what? That's so beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
And this isn't even one of the big ones. And this one measures 18.5 by 26.8.
Oh, wow.
This isn't even one of the big ones.
Barbara, I'm with you,
Tampa.
When you're painting a wall, and you have to reach up high.
You got it in your shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
more than once.
I have that have? Yeah. And I mean, when I'm not huge, okay? I've been in the triple D. That's about as big as I've gotten now. I've lost some of that since I've lost weight. I lost 75 pounds. But when I was as big as I was, it wasn't just I had almost like a smiley face, 2 eyes and a smile, where my stomach was, because I'd lean, So
yeah, this is one of the smaller ones, but yeah, it's not uncommon for me to be working on one of these ones, and I go to move, and I move the whole painting because half of it's stuck to my shirt.
Because it's stuck to your titty,
your boobs.
Yeah,
and God forbid you're standing in a big crowd and you're trying to get through to the bathroom. How many people have you assaulted with your boobs?
Like when they sink and dip in the toilet water.
No, it's not that, because we don't put our chests on the toilet, but
No,
now y'all's balls hitting the toilet water, that's something totally different. We don't have that problem.
No.
But trying to get through a crowd, you're sideways going through, and I mean, your boobs assault everybody from the back of the line all the way up to the door.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just trying to come under the desk.
I mean, if we're going by the definition of what Chad Dick, I call him Chad Dick instead of Chadwick, but if we're going by the definition of assault that Chadwick put out there, then how many people have we assaulted in our lifetime?
Right?
I have a visitor.
You have a visitor?
I have a visitor.
Visiting? Who'll be visiting?
Oh, look at that face.
I'm trying to see you. There she is.
What a face. What a face.
Such a pretty girl.
What a pretty girl.
Hi, baby.
But yeah, of course, most men, when you assault them with your boobs, most men don't complain. I mean,
yeah, my husband doesn't. He'll be like,
Mine
"Oh,
doesn't.
hello."
Yeah, if I assault my husband with my boobs, he's turning around and grabbing. You know,
That's my old man.
He's
like, hello, let me catch.
Oh fuck, you guys.
I mean, if some woman's trying to get by you and her boobs brush you in the back, are you going to complain, Dusty?
Oh no, I've been to a lot of concerts. That's one of the things I used to look forward to.
Exactly.
Just like you said, getting through a crowd. I was single for a lot of years.
You just don't. They don't have a mind of their own. They just kind of follow along. But I mean,
well, and they sometimes stick out farther than the rest of one does.
Oh,
I mean,
right?
How far they stick out, and if somebody comes into our space, I mean, there's not much we can do.
What do you mean do? Cut them off? While you're walking by. What do you?
Please do. They're heavy as hell.
Exactly.
Oh, no kidding. I would give my boobs to some, I hate to call them itty bitty titty committees, but it's a lot of times they do. They complain about
if
not
the shoe
having.
fits, wear that bad boy.
Yeah. And they complain about, oh, I wish I had bigger boobs. Like, you can have mine here.
You can
I
have,
will trade
take
you,
it.
please.
Yep. You have no idea, honey.
It's
come see me a year after you've had mine, and you're carrying an extra 15 pounds on the front of you.
Exactly. A piece. A piece. Yeah. A lot of people just don't understand that, hey, they're there. They were put there for a reason. And sorry if you think about it. In Africa, in some places, women walk around with no shirts all the time, and men are around and nobody cares.
Exactly.
It's a societal thing that says, oh, you have to cover your boobs. Mm-hmm. Men can walk around with no shirts and have their hairy moobs out.
Well, what's that movement called? Free the nipple? It's a movement to get it. It's an actual movement to get the laws against public indecency.
Agreed, Lorraine. Yeah, my back would be a whole lot less painful.
Exactly.
Right? And I'm not even 42 yet.
I mean, I'm at the point now, having lost the weight, that my boobs hang down to my waist. Do you really think I like bouncing them off my knees? I mean, come on.
Yes, Mischief, it is the adult chat.
Yes, it is.
It very much is.
I mean,
and I think I'm the youngest one here.
I think you are.
I'm 61, so yeah. But it was nice when my boobs kind of stood up and the tension were up here, but now they're down here. They're not. Yeah. It's like one of those things. Can we do a boob lift? But sorry, but I mean,
tie the boobs in a bow to get them out of the way. Oh, you got to jump down to the bottom there. Brandon's comment.
There's
Lorraine, you're 47.
Song.
Mischief, 62. I'm 50.
Brandon
I'll be 55 in September.
I'm 61. Yeah, I'm 61.
No
I'm
way,
57.
Dusty. What day?
Dusty.
Where am I? Yeah, what's that?
What day in September?
18th.
Are you kidding me?
Y'all's birthday's the same day?
No, but close. I'm the 12th.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Want to hear something funny? My birthday and my brother-in-law's birthday is the same day. We were born the same day. And
my husband's is the 6th.
He is, I mean, we're talking, we were born 5 minutes apart. Same year, same day, everything.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Virgos for the win, Barbara. Indeed.
I'm a Taurus, and I'm.
Jen, did you see this? Barbara's on the 12th too.
Yeah.
See, that's why me and her. I love you.
Yeah. Mine's April
I've been
28th.
dropping since the hints to Cheryl about going to Australian Pink Floyd show at the Ruth Eckerd Hall for my birthday.
Kansas is coming to the Moody Center in Austin. I'm thinking about doing Kansas. I like Kansas.
I seen Kansas, I want to say like 3 times.
Yeah. Somebody was asking about the boobs hang. Yeah, exactly, Lorraine. Do your boobs hang low? Can you swing them to and fro?
Oh,
Not
my
quite,
goodness.
but close enough. Close enough.
I can give myself a black eye if I jump up and down.
See, and I breastfed both my kids, so
Yeah.
that did not help.
If
I
I were,
breastfed all 4 of mine.
I never had
Did not
children,
help.
so I have stepchildren, but I never had children. My mother forced me to have an abortion at 18, and it screwed me up. So
I'm
My
so
first
sorry.
wife, she had an abortion real young and never was able to have children.
mhm.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been, and then of course, later, about 5 years later, when are you going to make me a grandchild? Well, you fucked that one up, didn't you? Anyway.
You sound like me.
There you go. You guys got requests now.
Okay, boobs
No, no.
over. Well,
Motorboat.
if I were to throw my boobs over my shoulder, this would become very R-rated rather quickly.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not say we did.
Get a YouTube
But-
strike at 2 a.m.
Exactly. Definitely not made for children.
It said not made for children. I clicked the not made for children. I made it clear it wasn't made for children.
Yeah, I forgot to stream to my channel, so I'm not even on my channel
I'm
right now. It's all
Oh,
good.
Jen.
I'm streaming to
forgot.
mine, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm streaming, so that ought to be interesting. But but yeah, I mean,
I
I'd
popped
like to
in
get
so fast, but I forgot to click
Yeah.
stream to my channel, and it's all good.
Yeah,
My
I
mother's
really want to
84.
do. Oh, really?
He's saying
I
his
wanna
mother can turn 70.
I want to do a panel of women talking about how much their boobs get into trouble, and
I am
Having-
so on that panel.
yeah, and then I'd like to throw one man in there, one maybe 2 men, just so that we can see their reactions as we discuss what happens with our boobs.
Oh, Dusty's still got to be on that one.
So if you guys want to be on the panel of
You
how
need a-
boobs get into
You're
trouble,
gonna
and we'll
need
make
a
sure that Nancy,
neutral judge.
yeah, we'll ask Nancy to be on there too.
Who's the second one?
DJ Nico.
Yeah.
DJ Nico's already volunteered. He and I have already talked about it.
Oh, this ought to be interesting.
Excellent.
Tampa Bay mans, your boob don't get you in any trouble. What are you doing wrong? Not sticking them out there enough. I don't know.
This is a problem we'd like to have, is what we're
that would
saying.
be a nice problem. Yes.
Yes, that would be a problem we'd like to have.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If I put my boobs in a push-up bra, I'm going to suffocate myself.
That's one of the reasons I quit wearing some bitches.
It's why would you do such a thing?
Sandy, this isn't Boobgate. This is Boobapalooza.
Boobapalooza. That one's good, Dusty. Props, man.
We have to have Nance Drew on that panel, though. She has to be on that panel because she's the one who got arrested for her boobs.
Yes.
I've never been arrested because my boobs did anything.
No,
No,
that
me
was
either.
pretty amazing. That one's pretty
I honestly
amazing.
think that was a first.
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, how do you get arrested because your boob touched someone? I mean,
He
if
had
I was
that whine and
you
cry.
imagine if you were the cop that had to arrest her for her boobs assaulting someone. And
That
you
was
go into
probably the first
locker
time
room.
that person's been touched by a human contact.
Well,
in-
true. But that
He
cop
probably
has
cried.
to go into that police locker room and say, "You're not going to believe what I had to arrest today. I had to arrest a boob."
That's
Can you
gotta be.
imagine?
Meaning a tit, which means something, a boob in Canada.
I would not want to be the one that has to admit to that. There's no way.
You know, as the police officer, no less. You know, I arrested
There's
somebody
not-
because her boob touched somebody.
I
How
can
do
only
you-
imagine the prosecutors probably going, "You got to be fucking kidding me."
Exactly. And they're still pushing it. They
And they're still
refiled.
pushing it. Yes.
And
yes.
It's like the
That's
judge
asinine.
has to look at that and go, "What?" Hopefully they get a woman judge.
Well,
because
we will
she's
find
gonna
out
tell-
awfully quickly, won't we? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Isn't it rescheduled for the 10th?
Something
Which is
like
Did
that.
they
tomorrow.
reschedule it again?
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
No, it's
um,
rescheduled. It's scheduled for tomorroh.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Let me
Tomorrow.
double check.
Or today, actually, in my where I'm at.
Yeah, it is
you
getting
know,
late.
Hold that thought. Let me pull
Yeah,
up
we
her
got to
channel. I
call
think she
this
put
a
it-
first Minnesota goodbye, y'all.
Yeah, it's late for me too. I gotta actually.
We got to
work
call this a first Minnesota goodbye.
today.
But
We've
Brandon,
been
what
going
do you-
Those
good.
of
We
you-
almost did
Yeah,
For
4
those
hours.
of you who don't know, yeah. For those of you who don't know, in my channel, we do Minnesota goodbyes, and they normally last three or four goodbyes worth of goodbyes. So you say goodbye the first time, and then there's some chatter, and then you say goodbye the second time, and then there's some chatter. It's a Minnesota goodbye,
And
probably
then you
because we're
say,
Minnesota.
you get to number
nice.
5, and
Brandon wants to be on the
38
boob
people
channel.
jump in. All of a sudden,
Yes, and invariably I get to Minnesota the goodbye number 3 or 4, and about 15 more people show up in the chat. It is
With me is I don't tend to get invited on because Oh Hell No is such a small channel. I don't tend to get invited on things very often, so I don't get to do this very often. And I absolutely love doing this. You know.
well, we're gonna move you right into the regular.
yeah.
This is too
I
fucking
would
fun.
I
It's like
actually
you're good at hosting.
this is only my second time I've been on a panel. So
In a week.
Yeah. In a week.
In a week.
in a week,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So it
I
was
absolutely
I
love
don't know
doing
that it's always I don't know that it's
Hopefully
always
this
a function
isn't
of
a
the size
bad,
of your
bad,
channel.
bad omen like our last one, man. Our last live turned into
Please
what
not.
fucking happened afterwards.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be talking about Boobapalooza here
Boobapalooza.
for a while.
Give me just a
So
second, you
Heppa B
guys.
Man, isn't that the best feeling ever? It is the
Yeah.
best feeling ever.
Oh
You
my
know
God.
that's how a woman
Min-
is done with her day.
Min,
Give
Min,
me
you
just a
have to
second, you guys. I'll be right
understand.
back.
I
Okay,
love that
okay.
feeling too.
You have to understand, guys and women who don't. Yeah, there we go. Women who don't wear bras. When you have to wear a bra in public, or you're might be arrested for indecent exposure, getting home and taking that sucker off is like if you're taking a girth off a horse, a saddle off of a horse.
It's
You
like
know?
taking a girdle off. It's like
Well, I don't think men wear
it's-
girdles, but
yeah, okay. You're right. You're
think about taking off your tidy whities.
I still wear a tidy whitey.
Letting those boys just swing and get a little air. Okay, that's what
Okay,
it's
is that
like.
what happens?
Well, and you
As
got to
we
keep
learned
in
earlier, I
mind.
just dip them in the toilet.
You got to keep in mind that if the girls are a little larger,
Mm-hmm.
one generally has to wear extra support that often
Yes.
comes in the form of wires
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes
that-
heavy duty wires.
And
Miss
sometimes
Kim,
they'll
good
break
night.
through. Sometimes they'll break through their little pocket in the bra.
They break through the bra. That's the worst.
Oh,
That's the worst.
underwires. Jen.
Oh
those
no,
underwires
I
when
hate
they break-
underwires.
oh. Yeah, then as they break through and they poke you in the boob, right?
Yes, it's the worst.
Mm-mm.
So you're reaching in there and
I'd
you're pulling
toss
a
all them
wire
bad
out
boys.
from. Ugh.
I don't have a choice but to wear underwires. Otherwise, I am seriously having problems.
I
you poor thing.
sometimes.
Yeah,
do.
Barbara, I don't do BVDs. Those are big vicious dorks. I wear hangs.
I'm telling you, the relief that a woman gets taking off her bra is the same relief that a man gets taking off his tighty whities and going commando. It's a different type of relief, but it's relief. You know.
I don't go commando. I'd be like,
You know,
I'd be running around with a.
I don't understand how men can go commando. I would be scared if I was the guy that I would zip it up in my zipper in my jeans.
Right?
You know,
You want to have that tucked away. One would think you want to have it safely tucked away.
I'm always
There you
wearing
go.
surf shorts.
You know, but the thing that you have to realize that if you zip it up in the zipper, there's only one way to fix that. You have to zip it back down over the.
Ooh,
You know?
like I said, you'd want to have that stuff safely tucked away.
Can you imagine zipping your nipples up in a zipper? I mean, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No.
I don't understand. Why would anybody take that kind of chance with their junk? You know, you got to have some protection.
Okay, that's got me hurting.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah.
Tampa, you zipped a nip. Oh,
Ow,
you poor thing.
baby.
Oof. Yeah, I can't imagine. Now, fortunately,
Okay, my eyes are watering just thinking about it. Oh,
you know, I lucked out in the nip lottery in one way, and I have inverted nipples, so mine don't stick out. So it's a little hard for me to zip a nip, but I can imagine that would be bad.
I can imagine that too.
I know how bad it is when I've gotten
nipped in a nip. A nip.
Oh,
you know, I just, yeah, it's the unzip that's bad. Exactly, because that's the only way you can get it off. Is, you know, God, you did have a horse nip your nip. Oh no, I meant not.
Dear God.
Yeah, that would be ow. I can't having a nip zipped is just no. I mean, how do people pierce their nips? I can't see that one either.
Okay, we're over a line because I can't.
I just, you know,
because exactly.
Ow, you know,
or the tattoos. I mean, I can understand, like, if you've had cosmetic, that's you know, one thing,
right?
But like tattooing over. I mean, I love tattoos. Don't get me wrong. I have a ton of tattoos.
You got plenty ink. But
like tattooing over.
No.
That's, you know, I fall asleep when I get tattooed. Like,
you
literally
wouldn't then
fall asleep.
You would
but
not.
I don't
then.
think
That
I
would
could
wake
handle
you
that.
up. That would wake you up in a heartbeat. You know,
I don't think I could handle that.
I don't think
I fell
so.
asleep. I don't know how many of you guys have actually watched my videos, but I have.
You have a lot of tattoos.
I have my half sleeve.
Yeah.
I've got the one on the inside of my wrist. I've got an ace of spades down my rib cage. I've got one on my outside thigh. I've got 3 on my calf, on my top of my foot. I mean,
yeah, I thought about getting some tattoos at one time, and then I was worried about when I turned my age now that the rose would look like a spider.
No, I don't care. I love my tattoos. They all have meaning. There's you know. This one is for my family. It actually has the butterflies each represent my kids and my husband, my cousin that self-deleted several years ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
His initials are hidden within this tattoo. So this one's very sentimental to me. The one on my rib cage, the Ace of Spades, is actually my husband.
Hey, Dawn.
All my tattoos have meaning of something. The one on my wrist is my grandparents. You know, and I've fallen asleep for every single one of them.
Yeah.
But tattooing over my nips?
Oh, no.
I draw the line.
No.
Miss Sunrise Dawn, you missed the Boobapalooza. You didn't enjoy that one.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch it on catch up. Sunrise Dawn.
You guys.
Okay, second Minnesota goodbye, y'all.
See, people are already popping back in now. Second Minnesota goodbye. I'm still here, Barb. I just told my wife, we're talking about boobs and how much it gets them in trouble. You're not talking about that on a live, are you? Yeah, for about 15 minutes.
He's not talking about it. We are. He's just sitting back.
Yeah, he's just sitting back there and absorbing it all.
That's too fucking much, you guys.
But yeah, I don't have any tattoos. Sometimes I wish I did, but I just, for one, I don't do pain well. I'm not, and interestingly enough, for women have a higher threshold for pain than men do. You know, but even then, needles and me don't get along. Yes, we do. You know, Dusty, I'm sorry, but I can't see you pushing a baby out of that thing.
It won't happen. Kid.
Won't happen.
But
this one here that Sunrise Dawn says, this here's a true story. It actually happened, y'all.
3 times. you said Beetlejuice 3 times, and there he was.
I did.
The chat's moving so fast still.
Oh, how funny.
We've had 25 plus the whole time. We've been going 4 hours now.
That's
wow,
awesome.
That's excellent.
Okay, so Dusty, what we need to do is we need to start putting these together and doing like chat-a-thons for some fundraisers for some people. Like Nancy. Nancy, we could do a fundraiser for her legal fees.
Yes,
I'm totally game.
I think Chad, they're already talking about doing one with Bill on that.
Yeah,
Red, we are still up.
Everything got everything got thrown into the grinder this week.
Oh yeah, this week has been horrific.
Yes, Red, we're still here.
Just so much.
We're going,
stuff.
but you know why y'all showed up is because I'm going on the 3rd Minnesota goodbye. Just so y'all know.
She's getting there.
That's why.
She's getting
there.
We
were just saying that was going to happen.
Hey, retired Red. But yeah,
I would like to start bouncing ideas off on that December 4th idea.
Yeah, let's do.
It's far enough out now. That's something that I'd be able to schedule.
Team of people to put this together. It's nothing.
I mean, I don't have any. Yeah, I'm not doing anything other than sitting at the house watching YouTube videos and doing stupid shit.
Maybe we could come up with some kind of them little electric candles that they use nowadays at the vigil and send them out to all the streamers and get them to go to their org.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I loved it when you guys first mentioned it. What was it, last week?
No, it wasn't. It was like only 3 days ago.
It was days ago.
That 3 days has been a week. This weekend has been a whole week.
Okay, so it's Friday or something like that. Yeah,
Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, before I commit to this, let me see what my husband's schedule is, because I don't drive well, so my husband does all the driving.
But we are talking the 4th, which is going to be a Wednesday. It's going to be kind of a rough. If we do it early enough in each time zone, then it probably wouldn't be bad. But the other thing you got to think about is you got, if you're talking about doing it at 6 o'clock, you got 5 o'clock traffic that people got to get through.
We definitely want to.
Dusty wants it as a candlelight vigil, but doing it at that time for the rest of the world, Dusty, is just an awful time of the day. No, people are going to hit traffic and rush hour.
Yeah.
I will not be able to make it unless my husband takes time off.
On the 4th?
But it's early enough because it's right in the middle of his night rotation.
So, okay, if we do sort of a mini one on the 4th, which is going to be a Wednesday, and people don't necessarily, if they can't make it to their orgs, they could at least get on and do a video, and we can put it together, edit it together, and run that on the 4th. And then
there
on the
we
weekend, we could do a full-on
And we definitely want to look about getting a
something
sponsor
he might
on
be
it.
able to take time off for to be able to go because I have to drive to Vegas.
Right.
So which is
And
more
that's a
important?
4-hour drive.
Which is more important, Dusty? Is it more important that it be at candlelight, or is it more important that it be on the same day?
Well, as soon as I mentioned it, Cheryl was like talking about doing it during the day. It just gets squirrels to surround all the orgs. But
Brandon, I am a passenger princess because I fall asleep behind the wheel when I drive long distances.
Yeah, it turns into
so it needs to be the day.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose of the anniversary.
Yeah,
and it's a vigil. Vigils are usually in the evening.
Well, I mean,
I'm hearing you.
Here is kind of a couple of things that I want to throw at you, Dusty. For one, isn't Sea Org graduation days always Fridays? So you're going to have more people at the Sea Org, correct?
Yeah, they hate us too.
Exactly. So if you think about doing the full on, everybody show up at the orgs, Friday might be the better day, which is why I'm suggesting maybe we do a video one for the 4th to have people send in clips about.
About protesting all over the world, and that
if this comes off good, this is just the 25 year of the anniversary, but it's the 29th year of the death. So if this comes off good next year, the 30-year anniversary of her death, we could probably pull off something really cool. Like
what
that.
day? Yeah. I mean, my thought here.
She died, I think, December 5th, 1995. I think it was.
What day is December 5th, 2025? What day does that fall on? Does anybody have a way to find that out?
It's got to be a Saturday. Hold on.
Because I would think the 30th anniversary would be the one to really push it on that day.
December 5th, 2025 is going to be
I have thought about that. Yes.
Friday.
I think that would be.
So that's a better day to do that. Okay, if we look at it 30, and that gives us a whole year and a half to plan that, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we can do sort of the initial trial run through on the 5th of this year. Does that make sense? That's the Wednesday, right?
I think what we should do is keep shaping this and not have it be a final decision tonight.
We're gonna want some kind of sponsorship too from one of the bigger channels, especially the people that were in, maybe like Liz Gale or Aaron or Natalie. We're gonna want their blessings.
And definitely, and I think that if we can get in with Liz Gale, she has the receipt, the list. And that would be a really good time to roll that out again and maybe do a video that we run during that protest. If we can get pictures of all those people and those names, then
I
we
have
could
a couple of different copies of the list or of the receipt in different forms on my Dropbox.
So we could even get it. We could even get one printed if we needed to.
Right. Yeah. But my thought is that if we do and this is something I've been thinking about doing, is we do a video that highlights each name and then a picture or two of that person, and then we move to the next one and picture. So it's a video
Must have been that one
that's out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like what am I thinking? A tribute video, maybe?
Yeah.
All your weenie problems. Do a tribute video to all those people on that list. and that would be a good time to pull it out, would be during instead of, if we have a hard time getting people to do the Wednesday protest, we can do sort of a video protest and really plan for the 30th anniversary, for everybody to stand out at the
Barbara, it was Mark Bunker. He posted that video of that vigil, and I saw it, and I saw the date on it going, oh, that's coming up.
Yeah.
4th Minnesota, goodbye, y'all.
It's that stuff with Mark Bunker. Yeah, I need to go to bed too, so we should wrap it up.
Yeah, we should.
You guys are just too much fun, and I'm having too much of a good time, and you actually are all helping my channel out tremendously by being here this long.
Hopefully it's helping mine as well.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And my dumbass
I
got
hope
streaming
it's
to my
helping
channel.
all of y'all. Well, next time, Jen, we'll make it
so maybe we'll just start doing this on the regular. I'm all about boosting other channels and getting people up there, because the big shots, and I don't want to mention anybody's names, but they're not even gonna even subscribe to our channel themselves, let alone help us, and they really get pissy when people promote other channels in their channons. So we got to do this. Us little channels need to do it ourselves.
Yeah, let's all get together with I'll put out something out to Liz and see what her thoughts are, and about doing something like this.
We're definitely going to need a team.
Yeah.
There's going to be a grip of emails involved, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm willing. If we want to do a video on the Wednesday, if we want to do a video protest, then I'm willing to, if people want to send me their video clips, I've got an editing.
I would like to get it out to like mainstream medias too, and that kind of stuff. Try to get the public involved.
That would be an excellent thing to
on
do.
top of all that, do different information getting out.
So we'll those people who might want to be who might want to be involved in the planning of this, just reach out to one of us.
Absolutely.
And we'll work with trying to figure out how to get this done. But we've got 5 months now for this one, but I think the big one needs to be the 30-year. I think that makes sense.
I wish we could have done this 4 years ago for the 25th.
I agree.
But you know what? We're here now, so let's just do the best we can going forward.
I wouldn't mind getting a line of people with their candle lights and do a couple laps around the flag in Fort Harrison, and then wind it up at the Lisa McPherson Brick.
That would be excellent.
And then we're right next to Nash Keys, and we could have a fucking party.
Right. I mean, you're in the Clearwater
people.
one. So, but those people who can't make that Clearwater one, you still can do it at your own org, the one that's closest to you,
or even at home.
Even at home, exactly.
Participation's participation, and it's all appreciated and appreciated. So
exactly. So if you don't have an org that you could go do that to, you can always do it at home. You could, I mean, there was a thing quite a few years back where it was the green porch light meant something. I don't remember what it was. So you could change the light bulb on your porch light and leave your porch light on, and that could be your form of protest. You know,
it's like the yellow ribbon around the old oak tree.
Exactly. You know, put a purple light in your porch light and your protest.
Maybe we should do something like that in flag.
What, a yellow ribbon?
Just something around trees, all of them.
Goldenrod ribbons.
Goldenrod ribbons.
Because I don't think there's too much the city can do, and I don't think they can complain.
Yeah. So
that's another great idea.
Yeah, y'all. Anybody who's interested in doing that, and on the replay crew, some of you guys who are going to watch this later, all of us have
leave a comment, email us.
Yeah. If you want to be involved in the planning of this, if you have some ideas, hey, we'll take a look at them and toss them around. And guys, what I think we need to do is get together and start doing, especially if we're talking about December, we need to get moving on it.
Mhm.
We definitely want to get Poe involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we want
Okay.
to get Poe involved. I could see Marilyn maybe. She probably would like to get involved. I don't know that she has anything nearby that she can do though. But
She can help coordinate and get the word
It'd
out.
be nice if we could get Reese to do a Kansas City thing.
Well, we don't know if she's
Reese won't be in
Kansas.
Kansas
She will
City.
She'll be in
She'll be in
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
She's moving.
Yes,
She's
That's right.
moving.
I did see something like that
yes,
recently.
she'll be
with
in
her.
Tennessee. But
Where's
Tommy
Tommy
would
at?
be great.
Maybe Tommy could do something.
He's in Arizona.
He's
I
in
think.
Arizona and Tucson.
Tucson, yeah. Tommy, you know, we do know that a lot of the protesters, Laura would be great. And we know she would get
Yes.
involved. I think E would as well, Degraded Daughter.
It would be nice to have
Alicia.
Laura take care of
Yeah,
the
Alicia.
LA people for us.
Yeah. Alicia's in Houston, I think. So I bet she would get involved. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of people who would get involved. And of course, those of you who have channels that are watching us now or watching us in replay, reach out. Let us know where you're at so we know who would be where. This is
That would be cool. See
Yeah.
if we can get Fluffer
because we
involved.
can we can put a database together to figure out where
Mhm.
everybody's home base's channel is so that we can know who to contact in what area.
Yep.
We
So-
could use
Well, we've
somebody
got
like
that. We've
John
got
to
Fluffers.
contact Natalie and
Fluffers,
Aaron
yeah.
and those guys, because you know those bigger guys like John, who aren't quite massive yet, the massive channels will listen to them before they'll listen to the small channels. So
Well,
we need
yeah,
almost a
think
middleman.
I still think Aaron would, in his way, because he's done it before and he's done it with small channels before, would tune in if he knew something was going on, would tune in and just stream, snipe stream or however you want to call it, what was going on in each, on the individual channels.
I'm pretty sure too with Aaron, if it's a little bit of a movement, he'll be right behind us. He'll back us.
Oh, yeah.
He'll
will.
like the idea. I'm pretty sure, and because Lisa's that
You
little
didn't-
memory to him's a little bit precious, so I think he'll like the idea.
So you have the inroads to Aaron, so you might reach out to him and let him know what we're talking about doing and see.
Yeah, send him a text, and in a month and a half he'll get it. Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you send it now, he'll get it before December.
That's true. You may as well send it now. It's worth a try. You never know. You don't ask, you don't know.
I think.
I tell you who we get a hold of and you try to get behind it is Barb, SPTV Tattoo Warrior, because
that's easy.
Yeah.
That's probably your best bet, honestly.
And hopefully all this mudslinging's done. I would like to get all those guys involved. So I hope we could have a kumbaya sometime fucking soon.
Agreed.
That would be nice.
That would be great.
Because I want them involved too.
Yeah. So y'all, let's get together. Pup, you and I need to do a stream together.
Yes. I am down.
There we go.
Make sure everybody has an email for their channel. I set up my own email just for the channel, so
I did too.
That
my
way,
my channel email is in my description. Yeah,
mine as well.
Too.
Mine too.
Guys, before we close this, I do want to take a moment again to say prayers and send healing light out to Tony and Natalie. They're going through a very rough time. There is a GoFundMe for Tony and Natalie. If you guys can head over there to her to that GoFundMe and give $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever.
Last I checked, they were more than halfway past.
They were at 12 last I saw. So
Give me 1 second. Let me check.
When I met all those guys and they were all out here, Tony was one of the most amazing people I met out of that 50 people I met that weekend.
Hey, Miss Sunrise Doink, you got that? Oh, good. You do have that GoFundMe. Awesome. So Miss Sunrise Dawn put the link in chat.
Lorraine put it up also. It's there.
Also,
Okay,
thank you.
it's in
Thank you
chat.
so much.
So
mods.
let me just check from there.
Yeah. Please make sure go send them support. And even if you can't offer money or financial support, send Natalie a little email or a message.
Send her an email or a message or a card, something you can do. There's something you can do. Yeah.
Yes. So she
aloha-tology.
Yeah. Yeah. So
all right. They're 13,238.
13,230. So they're getting there.
That's awesome.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And how long's that been? That's
And,
just been a few days, right?
It's only been what, a day or two?
Let me see.
The SPTV community
2 days.
is amazing.
2 days. Yes. Also, Miss Nancy Drew.
That's over
days ago.
$6,000
And
a day.
also what Sunrise Dawn says, Nancy Drew needs support
for her legal
after
costs.
she has to be, it's tomorrow here, but it's not tomorrow in the rest of y'all's universe. So she has to be in court on Monday, the 10th.
That's today.
Yep.
So, yeah.
40 minutes for me will be today.
Exactly. It's almost there.
Almost there. So yes, make sure. Oh, you think Danny and Leah would probably want to get involved?
It's very possible.
Yeah,
they would.
I adore
Danny and Leah have been friends to my channel. He stops by on occasion if people don't have another way.
When they came out here, and I was the one that went out of my way going, these guys came all the way from LA and there's nobody here to greet them. And I ran out there, and it really, Leah just loves me for that.
Yeah, that was really nice of you.
We just need to on this vigil, we just need to get the word out. And so everybody watching, people, just get that word out that we're looking
Holy crap, look who just popped in.
Sir Crap.
Okay, but we said the 5th Minnesota goodbye, you guys.
I sent you a link hours ago, Bill. You missed out. You should have been here. You missed all kinds of boobage.
Yeah, we
were talking all kinds.
Kinds of boobage.
Yep.
Lorraine, go ahead and contact Danny and Leah.
I love you, my brother.
Sir get to us. We're talking about doing a candlelight vigil type thing.
Yeah, we've got some great ideas on the replay. Yeah, you'll have to catch the rerun, sir.
I can believe that.
Yes, we knew he was here earlier, but it sounded like his phone was blowing up. I understand other people's phones were blowing up.
Yeah. So anyway, so we all enjoyed having everybody here. I had a blast. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
I did.
It's a foreshadowing of my Boobapalooza video that's going to be coming as soon as we find out how Natalie's things going on with Natalie.
We're gonna have to catch Bill up. Yeah, we're looking at a candlelight visual for Lisa McPherson December 4th. And we had a lot of conversation about how boobs get in the way of busty women. Some of them trip over them. Some of them bump into people with them.
And some of them
that's a nice summarization.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been nipped in the nip, so.
Oh, Bill, yeah, man. The chat's start moving real fast again. Bill, I see that it's been a heinous week, and man, I got your back, baby. I completely feel you.
Sir Crepitus, we made a point of trying to make this not drama filled and a lot of fun tonight, and
we did.
I think we succeeded. It was a lot of fun.
I hope so.
So. Anyway,
all right, guys, we got to say goodbye. All right.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you for being on my channel, you guys. It was so fun. I feel like we're all friends now. So
anytime
we'll have to do this more often,
and I'll be there.
All right, you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Everybody.
Tomorrow morning
night,
in chat,
y'all.
we'll be going, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Talk to
Good
you soon,
night.
you guys.
See.
All right. Thank you for being here for 4 hours and 13 minutes. My chat room has had over 25 people or more all night. Bill, I wish you would have got here earlier. It was quite interesting and fun. Love you guys all. Retired Red, thank you for being here. Lorraine W., thank you for all the work you have done tonight. Mischief Manage, you're so funny. Thank you so much for being here, Sandy Lee. And cruise on up to some of the people that were here earlier. Oh, my search bar just gets smaller. A lot of people were here. Brandon Booth, that was another one. And keep going. Oh, Barb, Tampa B, man, thank you so much for being here and supporting Susan P. I love you dearly. Sunshine Dawn, thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Janelle H. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe to everybody in the panel. And all my others too, please subscribe to Feral Cheryl if you haven't. We love her. She's my sister in crime. And it is now 2:25 in the a.m. here in Coldwater, Florida. Thank you so much for being here. As I always say, be safe, be kind, and stand strong. I will see you guys soon. Have a good night or day, depending on where you're at. Everybody sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite or the mosquitoes. Have a good night.